You're watching Rivalry Week, presented by Fairfield by Marriott.
A rivalry described as deeper than hate. It's Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State coming up next.
It's game time. I hope you're ready for the show. It's time to see the best go at it or all pro. The opposition ain't ready, reaction too slow. We're already too much to handle. We have to go.
You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN. Final weekend of the college football regular season, and it's rivalry week. Georgia Southern welcomes in the Appalachian State Mountaineers on ESPN+. Here's what's at stake for both teams. For the Mountaineers, a chance for bowl eligibility, while Georgia Southern still fighting to keep their Sun Belt Championship game hopes alive. We thank you for joining us alongside Jason Foster and Whitney Hayworth. I'm Danny Wall. Final game of the regular season against your rival, a lot at stake. Jason, what needs to happen for both teams to pull out a win tonight?
Yeah, for App State, I think it's simple. They have to possess the football and run their offense, and that's going to be inside zone and outside zone. And that'll free up the quarterback to make big plays down the field. For Georgia Southern, I believe they have to spread the wealth to get the ball to all the receivers out wide and let them make plays.
Let's take a look at the Sun Belt Conference standings. We know out of the West, Louisiana is going to the Sun Belt Championship game, but still a lot to figure out for the East Division by the end of the night. And for more on this rivalry game between Georgia Southern and App State, let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Whitney Hayworth, with more.
Well, you all spoke a little bit about the X's and O's that will go into tonight's ball game. But when it comes to a game of this magnitude, everything goes out the window when the ball gets kicked off between Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. It does not matter your record. It does not matter your stats. When it's a deeper than hate rivalry, anything can happen. And Jason, you have been a part of this rivalry game. I'm sure you can attest to that.
Whitney, you're 100% correct. And once this ball is kicked off, you throw all the records and playbooks out the window. It's going to be a very intense game, and the players have this one circled on their calendars from day one. Also, being a night game, the intensity just gets that much more stronger.
Georgia Southern will start with the football here in the final game of the regular season. And here's what's at stake. Georgia Southern needs a win and a loss from Marshall to advance to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. It's a little help for JMU to get that win over Marshall. We'll see redshirt sophomore quarterback J.C. French had one of his most efficient games last season in the Eagles' 26-6 victory at Coastal Carolina. Eagles will start from the 25. Wearing all blue here on senior night. First play of the game, a handoff to the senior Jalen White, who reaches to the 28. This is the first time that Jalen White has been available for this App State game in the Clay Helton era.
Yeah, he's been battling injuries year after year, and I know he's excited to get in this game, so I'm definitely looking for him to make some big runs tonight. One
of 30 seniors honored before the game on senior night as French scrambles and throws far side. The pass was caught by Tyler Fromm, and it is complete. Fromm was in, another one of those seniors for the Eagles, and a big first down.
Yeah, Fromm's definitely a big target that JC's getting familiar with. He's definitely going to be looking for him for big plays going later on in the game.
Big plays will be a factor to keep an eye out in this game. For Fromm, an 18-yard reception gets the Eagles to the 46-yard line. French handoff to White. White breaks outside. White absorbs contact and another big run.
Yeah, Georgia Southern's trying to emphasize zone as well, like App State, so maybe they can get these plays off early.
The running game has been built off the offensive line that has led the way, really connected and consistent throughout the season. First down from the 37 after a 17-yard run from White. French scrambles and gets hit by two Mountaineers. Ethan Johnson leading the way. App State running a 3-4 defense.
Very nice coverage right there by App State. And then also JC makes a good decision to pull this ball down and run and try not to force it into coverage.
French's decision-making has really improved in the last 2 weeks. Offensive coordinator Ryan Applin said that French each week continues to get better and is really understanding his role and getting more comfortable as a leader for this team.
Yeah, he mentioned him coming in and watching more film, just getting more familiar with the offense. Even though he's been a starter, he hasn't been a starter long, so he's still learning like everyone else.
That run play broken up. First man there, Montez Kelly, sending Jalen White back on second down, brings up third.
Yeah, this is a big play right here for the App State defense. I think Georgia Southern has them in a third and short situation, so they could go either way, so App State cannot pin their ears back and go get the quarterback.
Look at the weapons that the Eagles have, really spreading the ball around through numerous receivers. Derwin Burgess, Josh Dallas, Dalen Cobb, and L.V. Bunkley Shelton, who we just saw on your screen, part of those weapons. 3rd and 3. French empty backfield, going to take it himself, and will get the first down.
That's a new wrinkle right there for the Georgia Southern offense. A quarterback draw to keep the chains moving, presenting run formations out of different packages.
Eagles moving here in this opening drive.
App State's going to be looking for a big play from Santana Hopper here soon. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and keep an eye on him for making big plays.
After the 6-yard gain from French, 7th play of the opening drive from the 24. O.J. Arnold the carry, a gain of 1, but the Eagles are so deep in numerous positions on offense and defense. They are 3 deep in the running back room.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. 3 legit running backs can all get the job done, so you don't lose anything when a new running back comes in, so the play calling does not change either.
You mentioned Santana Hopper leading the defensive line for the Mountaineers. Also keep an eye out on Kyle Arnholt and Braden Harrington in the linebacking corps. After a gain of 1, French quick fire finds Josh Dallas. Pass complete, will bring up 3rd down.
Josh Dallas just went up there and hooked up right in front of the chains. Got down low to make a good catch right there. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Got to watch out for the secondary for the Mountaineers, led by DJ Burks, named the quarterback of the defense from defensive coordinator Scott Sloan and Mountaineers head coach Sean Clark. 3rd and 4. Two receivers on the near side. French on play action, going to dump it out to O.J. Arnold. Arnold stays on his feet. He reached the initial line for a first down. We'll see where the officials mark it, and they're saying it's going to be 4th and short.
Another good catch by a running back from Georgia Southern. I think all 3 are viable options to catch the football and run with it. Obviously gives them a lot more opportunity to throw the ball. Right here, nice catch. He stumbles, gets upfield. Good field by App State on defense as well.
The offense is staying on the field for Georgia Southern. Coach Helton talked about being able to have some of these moments to execute on 4th down. Bo Johnson in motion. Play clock at 3. French will keep and gets the first.
I think that's a good call right there by Georgia Southern, going for it early in the game. I know Coach Hilton talked about field goals won't cut it this game, so he's sticking to what he said. Good push by the offensive line right here. Got down low, got up under App State's pads. Easy first down for the Eagles.
That was one of the biggest keys that Coach Helton talked about, finishing drives, and especially in the red zone. Touchdowns over field goals is what's going to get the job done here tonight.
Yeah, in a game of this magnitude, you know you got to get these big scores and get App State behind early.
In the red zone from the 13, Arnold up the middle and gets to the 10-yard line.
It's a good stand right there by App State defense. They swarm the football right there. They're getting into their own rhythm right now, figuring out what's going on.
A fast start for this Eagles offense. This is going to be the 12th play of the drive, coming up on 2nd and 7.
Yeah, possessing the football for either team is going to be key to victory right here. If you win that time of possession, more than likely you can win the game.
Empty backfield for French. Throws across the middle, and Dallas is in the end zone for a touchdown.
Georgia Southern offense looked in rhythm in that play. Josh Dallas again hooks up right in front of the sticks, turns around, catches an easy pass, turns in, finds the end zone. I think if he can keep finding the hole in these zones, he's going to have a big night.
5th touchdown reception of the year for the redshirt sophomore Josh Dallas. 12 plays, 75-yard drive, and the Eagles go for 2. Matthew Daniel on the keeper, and how about that to start for the Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles are on the gas early right here. They're going for 2. Definitely caught App State special teams off guard. Special team coach will not be happy with that, but a great call by the Eagles seeing that formation.
Coach Elton talked about how special teams needed a big play, and how about that from the 6-year senior Matthew Daniel, rushing it in for 2, and 8-0 start for Georgia Southern in the first quarter.
Yeah, Coach, he definitely talked about making a special teams play, and it came so early right there. He knifed in, got inside the end zone right there. That's a good call. I'm not sure if that's a call by the coaches or did the holder just feel that one. Yeah, Georgia Southern has a great design right here for the 2-point conversion. You see from hipped off here to the left. And App State only has 1 defender to the Georgia Southern left of the formation to stop this. So as they hike the ball right here, it's an easy block by Fromm, and basically just running into the end zone. I think App State has to look into getting this fixed before Georgia Southern does it again.
That caught everybody off guard. It caught the Mountaineers off guard, even caught us off guard in the booth. But an electric start for Georgia Southern, 8-0 here on the opening drive. And now we'll see how the Mountaineers respond. Taken inside the 5 and across the 20.
Flag.
And a flag is down off of the return from Mikel Haywood. So we'll hear from our head referee, Jeremy Parker, in just a moment. What a start we witness here in Paulson, especially with the 2-point conversion.
Right, yeah, I think App State has to calm down a little bit right here.
During the return, holding, receiving team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And then he had a holding call right off of it, and we'll see App State on offense following the commercial break. 8-0 Georgia Southern with 8:42 to go in the opening quarter. Here's the scenarios for the Sun Belt Conference Championship game out of the East Division. For Georgia Southern, the Eagles need a win tonight against the Mountaineers and Marshall to lose against James Madison. Basically, for the Thundering Herd, win and you're in. The winner faces Louisiana, who already clinched the West Division earlier today.
Yeah, this is what college football is about, where all the chips are in at the end of the season. You win in advance. Again, for Georgia Southern, they had this situation against Troy a couple weeks ago and fell a little bit short, so they're trying to rebound tonight.
So the holding penalty on the kick return for the Mountaineers pushes them back and will start this drive from the 12. That was the first penalty that the Mountaineers have had in a couple of weeks. Played clean football in the win over James Madison last weekend in Boone. Was the first time they had no penalties in the game since 2018.
Yeah, playing clean football is hard to do, so there's a testament how hard they've been working at it.
Here's the senior quarterback, Joey Aguilar. First down handoff to the senior, Amani Marshall. And Marshall nowhere to go. Aguilar leading the Sun Belt Conference in passing yards, 2,713. Also third in the Sun Belt in touchdowns. And really played a clean game of football with 2 scores against James Madison last weekend.
Yeah, he really protected the ball. They were able to get the run game early, so he made a lot of easy throws off play action. And they were, again, trying to establish this run game to give him these options again.
That 34-20 win puts the Mountaineers at 5-5 entering this matchup. On play action, Aguilar throws over the middle, and the pass is caught. Open space for Mekhi Jackson, who has been the #1 receiver for the Mountaineers with the absence of Caden Robinson.
Yeah, Mekhi, he stepped up big time. And again, right there, that's a big-time over route. He was patient enough as he came across, showed the quarterback his hands. Play fake, as you see him coming across, he eyes the quarterback, nice catch with his hands, gets upfield. And again, a great throw by Aguilar right there.
A 32-yard reception for Jackson coming off the game last week where he had 5 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. First down from the 47 for App State. Marshall on the outside run, and gets across midfield. The Mountaineers' running game is basically simple, Jason. They're either running inside zone or outside zone.
Yeah, it is a very simple concept, but it's hard to stop. Really, you need your D-line to step up right here and shoot the gaps and make these guys go more lateral than vertical. Once they put their foot in the ground, it's hard to stop this App State offense. So look for Georgia Southern D-line to get a lot of work in tonight to make some plays.
And Marshall has put in the work with losing Kanye Roberts. Marshall has had 4 straight 100-yard rushing games in the last 4 matchups for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and that shows, one, the hard work he's done, and
a sack from behind as Davion Rhodes chases Aguilar down to bring up third.
Big sack right there by the Georgia Southern defense. See, Bullard got his helmet off, so they may have hands to the face right here. Yeah, good backside pursuit right there because Aguilar was looking to get out the back door right there.
Flag on the play.
23, 15-yard penalty, replay, second down.
You called it, Jason. Hands to the face on Latrell Bullard. Going to go on Jaden Ramsey. Going to send the Mountaineers back a few yards.
Yeah, and Bullard's such a short guy. He's hard to block because he's so forceful in the middle. He's got to create havoc for the Georgia Southern defense for these guys to be successful tonight. So look for more plays like that from him.
Latrell Bullard, 6'1", 360 pounds. He causes so much havoc up front for opposing offensive lines, firing up the fans inside Paulson. Going to make it 2nd and 19.
Yeah, I think App State calls it safe right here, maybe with a screen or a swing pass.
Aguilar dumps it out, incomplete, and they're saying it's a fumble, and the Eagles have it. It bobbled out of the hands of Eli Wilson, and the Eagles scoop it up.
I think the Eagles were expecting the same thing we were expecting in the booth. They were ready for the screen. They had been in their scouting reports, and obviously got a turnover after this. Oh, that's a very nice play.
Wow. It's an interception.
Yeah.
Jacob Ferguson. My goodness.
Very athletic play right there by Jacob Ferguson. One for the ages right there. He's going to remember this one for a long time.
The defense with a takeaway. That was key for the Eagles last week against Coastal Carolina. 4 takeaways in that win. And it seems like the officials are going to review this play to make sure that Ferguson indeed had possession of the ball. But how about that for the Eagles defense, Jason, and how they were able to work their way back overall?
Yeah, after getting hit with a big play, they stood up right there, got them to a 2nd and long situation to get the interception. And just like you said, continue their success they had last week versus Coastal of getting the ball away, which is something we know they practice every week.
So Georgia Southern has it at the 33 following the takeaway, the pick from Jacob Ferguson. Empty backfield for J.C. French. French all day to throw across the middle to Derwin Burgess. And Burgess, a short game, playing in his final game inside Paulson Stadium.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal all year, and he's, again, making big plays going across the middle. These are not easy catches.
Whitney Hayworth has more on the Eagles. Derwin Burgess. Whitney?
Well, Danny, I was actually going to just talk about the fast and free mode that Georgia Southern is playing with that we just saw on the defensive side of the ball. So I hope to see that they can do the same thing, and they can show us how they can play fast and free offensively. And if they score, then I'll have more on Derwin and a team mantra that just came about in the last 2 weeks. So let's wait and see what happens before I go more in depth.
Thanks, Whitney. A sideline throw to Burgess, going to bring up 3rd and 1. From the 24. French going to throw deep towards the end zone, intended for Burgess, and a flag is out. Ethan Johnson on the coverage, will likely be pass interference.
Yeah, he had him wrapped up pretty good right there. Didn't turn his head to the ball. I think an easy call right here for the referee.
2, 15 yards, previous spot, replay, 3rd down.
And it's actually pass interference on Burgess. Going to send the Eagles back.
Surprising call, but that's the rules right there. Burgess, yes, he must have pushed him down right there.
Notice French going to Burgess a lot more on this drive. Has been known to spread the ball out to numerous receivers. 9 different Eagles had a reception last week against Coastal Carolina. And it goes from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 16 from the 39. French, good protection. Quick throw, incomplete. Intended for Dalen Cobb, going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he had good protection early right there. No one was open, but he did a good job moving his feet. App State kept coming with the pressure, kind of forced a low throw right here.
Eagles will bring out the punt unit, so we will see Alex Smith try to pin this one high and see what he can do. Smith, the sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, had 3 punts against the Chanticleers last week.
Georgia Southern has to be careful. I know App State has blocked the punt this year for touchdown deals against Georgia State. No pressure here, though.
Flag on the play. And a good punt from Alex Smith. Ball placed at the 2. Actually, 1. We'll see what the flag is on.
Nice punt, 0 returning.
More than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Legal formation from Georgia Southern, so Smith going to have another try here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bad penalty right there for Georgia Southern getting lined up. This is something you practice all week, and that was a great kick right there to put him on the 1-yard line. See that if they can replicate this again.
Tremendous punt by Smith. That is why Georgia Southern is one of the best net punting teams in the FBS.
And we got a false start on this punt right here too as well, so another penalty on the Eagles.
How about 2 for 2 for Smith inside the 5 before it got in, but looks like we're going to have another chance here.
Yeah, Georgia Southern moving the wrong direction right here. Got to get figured out on special teams. Just get lined up and kick the ball.
Formation. Offense, kicking team. More than 5, 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
So that is the second consecutive penalty where the Eagles have had more than 4 players in the backfield in the punt.
Yeah, I guess it's the left. They switching the formation now. Yeah, the left guard, he was too far back. He has to be on the hip of the last guy on the line of scrimmage. And in those 2 scenarios, he was not. They got it fixed right here, though.
Will the 3rd time be a charm for Alex Smith? Gets an Eagle bounce at the 10. They may mark it at the 11, but 3 tremendous punts from the Aussie, Alex Smith. We'll see the Mountaineers back on offense when we return on ESPN+. 8-0 start for Georgia Southern. It is a cold one in Statesboro, Georgia. Currently 37 degrees. I mean, it feels like 43, but still, it is a cold game in Southeast Georgia. Whitney's down there on the field. Whitney, what's it like down there for you?
It feels like a lovely fall day down here on the field, sitting on these benches. If you can't find me the rest of the game, this is where I'll be. This is probably warmer right here than it is in the booth up there for y'all, but honestly, otherwise, it's really not that bad. Definitely the coldest game that Georgia Southern's played all season, be it home or away. But realistically, if you love college football, this is just some classic football weather that you truly need to have at least one time during the regular season.
Absolutely, Whitney. Mountaineers start from the 10. Amani Marshall gets to the 16. The weather doesn't really faze the Mountaineers because last week in Boone, it was a snow game for App State against James Madison.
Yeah, they're used to it. It's a snow game, very cold weather. They're prepared for it. Georgia Southern takes a little bit to get used to. Luckily, they're off to a hot start right here, so it doesn't seem to be affecting them.
Yeah, 8-0 lead following the touchdown from J.C. French to Josh Dallas. Then the 2-point conversion from Matthew Daniel. Aguilar already an interception to Jacob Ferguson. Eagles couldn't convert points. 2nd down, another run up the middle to Marshall. Another flag on the play. But here's what Boone looked like in the early morning before their game against the Dukes.
Yeah, waking up to something like that, knowing you're about to play football, takes a lot of heart to get out there because it looks like a cold day up there. So, testament to them how they finish off that game and got a victory right there.
Offense, number 73. 10-yard, half the distance to the goal. Replay second down.
Garner Langlow, the left guard, called for holding. Jason, how did the Mountaineers play clean going forward?
Yeah, I think they got to calm down a little bit. Like you said, last week they had a penalty-free game. I think starting off behind kind of put them in a panic position, but they just got to calm down and play football like they know how to play.
Also an injury as Jaden Ramsey, the right guard, being helped off the field. There's been consistency for the Mountaineers offensive line throughout the season. They actually play with 6 different O-linemen rotating a guard in and out, so we'll see some of Thornton Gentry and Griffin Scroggs, the other 2 backup guards in this game. 3 penalties from each side in just the first quarter. 2nd and 12 from the 8 following the holding call. Aguilar to Marshall, burst of speed up the middle. Will be short of a first down, but another big run for Marshall there.
Yeah, Marshall's very patient right here, and he has excellent vision if you watch him on this zone run. They also caught Georgia Southern with 2 deep safeties. The safeties are standing about 18 to 20 yards deep, so almost inviting App State to run the football.
Going to make it 3rd and 2. App State was not efficient on 3rd downs against JMU. 3 of 13.
I think this is a little bit different scenario where they 3rd and short, where they can also still run the zone that these guys are so good at. So I think they're in the position they want to be right here.
Marshall up the middle, gets the first down, fighting for extra yards, gets all the way down to the 30. And these runs are so simplistic. I mean, both head coach Sean Clark and offensive coordinator Frank Ponce said they wanted to make it simple for the O-linemen to get going.
Yeah, when you've got a simple game plan, that means you guys can, your O-line and the receivers can all play fast, and they know what plays are coming. So on 3rd down, 3rd and short, I'm pretty sure everybody in the stadium knows there's going to be some type of zone read.
Marshall ran for 108 yards and a touchdown against James Madison. Empty backfield for Aguilar. And Mikael Haywood in motion to the left. Haywood on the carry, bounces out, and another first down for the Mountaineers. Mikael Haywood adding on.
Yeah, a great job by App State right here. Line up and empty, then bring them back in to see what Georgia Southern's going to be in. And he cut this back, got upfield, and put his shoulders down to finish the run. Expect to see more of this zone run coming up. No need to change if I'm App State.
And how about the blocking left tackle, Markel Samuel? That push, though, his interior lineman aside for Haywood to get that first down. A gain of 12. Aguilar on play action, throws near side, far side rather, intended for Jackson, incomplete.
Yeah, just let it go a little high right there, but he had him on the out route. He's got to finish a throw and bring his arm down.
Aguilar has been throwing the ball a little bit less these last couple of games. Coach Clark talked about how they don't need Aguilar to be throwing the ball 50 times. Keep it about 20, 25, and let the run game speak for itself.
Right, and they've got 3 wins, I think, out of their last 4 games, and he's completed less than 20 passes, so that shows you the success they're having in the run game.
2 minutes to go in the first. On the second down run, that time Haywood nowhere to go.
Georgia Southern D-line swallowed him up right there. Did a good job of running laterally to cut this ball off. He was looking for the cutback, and the backside end closed it up tightly.
Defensive coordinator Brandon Bailey for the Eagles said that when the D-line goes, the defense plays well overall. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah. Now they have App State where they want them with the zone and the play action should not affect the secondary right here. Georgia Southern needs to keep him in front of the sticks and make a sure-handed tackle.
They look at the Eagles defensive coordinator Brandon Bailey in the booth. 4 receivers set for Aguilar. Throws it as he's hit deep and almost caught. Incomplete out of the hands of Dalton Stroman. That brings up 4th down. How about the pressure from the Eagles defense on Aguilar?
Yeah, Georgia Southern switched it up right there. I think everybody thought they were going to sit back and kind of play the sticks, but they brought a weak side pressure right there to hit him in the back. I think App State has to work on getting that picked up to make sure Aguilar stays in the game, because that's a ferocious hit right there.
And that's right in the breadbasket for Stroman.
For getting hit, that's a very great ball right there. That's actually got to be pulled in.
So that brings out Connor Maynard, the punt for the Mountaineers. Deep to return is Josh Dallas. Takes it at the 9. Dallas. It's about 9 yards there.
That's a very interesting return right there with no protection. I think he was down there by himself, but a good call to get it away from the end zone.
Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Georgia Southern an 8-0 lead off of the opening drive, where it was a touchdown reception from Josh Dallas.
Yeah, Josh Dallas has to come up big in this game. I think he's the most comfortable receiver with J.C. French right here. Every third down, look for him. I believe he has 15, 16 catches on third down. So he is the go-to guy for the Eagles on third down.
A lot of history between Georgia Southern and App State. A combined 22 championships in the SoCon, 5 in the Sun Belt, 9 FCS national championships between the two schools. Eagles start from the 19. French scrambles. Gonna take it. French steps out of the 29 and gets the first down.
Another smart decision by French right there to pull the ball down. I think App State coverage was actually very good on this play again. French is using his feet to convert the sticks.
And really, the offensive line, the way they've been blocking for French in the opening quarter, frees him up to make plays like that.
Yeah, and he's patient. Like you said, he's been practicing. He's more comfortable with the offense. He's not forcing it. So I think App State's going to have to bring a little heat to get him to make a mistake.
On first down, play action and sacked from behind. And it's Nate Johnson, one of the outside linebackers, coming in for the sack.
Yeah, that's a nice rip move on the tackle right there. He's getting low, knocks his hands down. The tackle steps down for some reason, and he almost stripped him out. Good job by JC holding on to the football right there, but a great play right there by Johnson.
And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Georgia Southern through 1 an 8-0 lead, trying to keep their Sun Belt Conference championship hopes alive here on the final weekend of the season.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are on the right track right here. And App State made a stand, and they finally calmed down, so this game's going to get tight here soon.
Second quarter coming up after the break on ESPN+. Second quarter of action about to begin on ESPN+. Look at some of our impact players for tonight. And Jason, we've already seen them make an impact in the first.
Yeah, we saw Josh Dallas turn around and catch the touchdown. He's finding the spot in the zone. Obviously with Bullet in the middle, got a penalty early for hands to the face, and he's causing havoc. And Amani Marshall, you've seen how the inside zone for App State is working right now. He has great vision. And I hadn't heard from Santana Hopper yet, but I'm sure he's coming.
Second down and 14 for the Eagles. Quick throw to Josh Dallas. Spins out of traffic, but met with 2 other Mountaineers. And Brendan Harrington, the first one to Dallas, brings up third down.
Yeah, Harrington's running fast. He dissected this play very, very quickly. Dallas dodged a big hit right there because he read this play perfectly.
How do we teams settle in here after a lot of penalties we saw in the first?
Yeah, I think now they've gone to the sideline, had their talk. They should definitely be settled right here. And then play football.
The pass is incomplete, intended for Burgess. Going to bring up fourth down, but a flag is thrown back on the 28-yard line.
Defense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And we saw Brendan Harrington step across the line of scrimmage, and it was basically a free play for the Eagles.
Yeah, we just talked about calming down and playing football. I think App State's doing the opposite right now. And for Georgia Southern, that's a great job when someone jumps to throw the ball past the sticks. A lot of times you see somebody get a penalty, and they throw a 1-yard route. You might as well throw the ball for the first down if you're going to do it.
So make it 3rd and 7 for the Eagles from the 32.
App State set up in definitely a pass rush offense right here. They're very wide at the D end, so something across the middle should be able to hit right here for the Eagles.
French throws incomplete, intended for Dallas, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Right, again, it's third down, and he's looking for Dallas on that. I think they had a little miscommunication. He threw that ball outside, and Dallas was breaking inside. But also very tight coverage by the App State defense. They've been sticking on the Georgia Southern receivers, at the top of their route. So the Eagles have to work on some routes to beat this tight coverage they have.
Well, one thing we are seeing since that Eagles opening drive for a touchdown, the defense is really locking in. Aside from the penalties, even after the takeaway for the Eagles defense, the Mountaineers defense stepping up and preventing any points since then. Alex Smith sends this one deep, fair catch, and bobbled by Jackson. Manages to hang on, a flag right at the end.
That's a tough penalty because he called a fair catch, but he also bobbled the ball. So as a defender, I think he's trying to get the ball. This will be interesting to see if the call stands.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team, number 35, 15 yards, first down.
Kick catch interference, and that's going to be on Demarcius Robinson, the junior linebacker.
That's an interesting rule right there. Obviously, the guy still has to catch the ball, but as a defender, you don't know if that ball is going to hit the ground or not.
Get a look at Mountaineers head coach Sean Clark wrapping up year 5 with the program. He knows a lot about this Georgia Southern App State rivalry, not just as a coach, but a player in the 90s as an offensive guard for the Mountaineers. Mooney Hayworth has more.
Danny, in talking with Coach Clark earlier this week, you had to ask about some of his favorite memories, be it as a player or a coach. We'll wait and see what happens with this play, and I'll talk a little bit more about it.
An inside route the middle by Marshall. Whitney, go ahead.
Well, as a player, he said he can always recall 1996. He said App State was down 14 in the fourth quarter. Backup quarterback Baker came in, led the Mountaineers on 3 touchdown drives in just over 10 minutes to rally App State to a 35-28 win here in Statesboro. Baker, the touchdown maker, was donned the nickname that night. And then as a coach, he said most recently, 2023 up in Boone. Last year probably, because that's the most recent one. He says realistically as a coach, it gives you the bragging rights, and recruiting-wise, it's huge to have the bragging rights these days.
Thanks, Whitney. And that win for the Mountaineers last season gave them a berth in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. Lost to Troy, but still, it just shows that the final game of the season means so much for anything, whether it's conference championship, bowl eligibility, and that's what you want in a rivalry.
Yeah, definitely glad they moved it to the last week of the season where all the chips are in and everything's at stake. So, and again, the players will have it circled on their calendar, and you're just anticipating this game coming up.
On 3rd and 2, quick throw from Aguilar, hitting Eli Wilson for the first down.
That's a phenomenal job by Aguilar right there. Had immediate pressure in his face and was still able to get that ball off and get the first down. Good play by him.
Aguilar has been heavily pressured tonight.
Yeah, again, his quick hands right there, how he gets that ball out. He's seen that blitz coming. With the fast hands and fast feet, he's able to make that play.
Just the second pass completed from Aguilar. 2 of 5 overall with the interception. On 1st down, Marshall breaks through, absorbs contact. Bring up 2nd and short.
Yeah, Marshall's ducking his way through the hole. He's had, again, very good vision how he cuts this back. And if you notice when he lines up, he's very deep in the backfield for these ISO runs. He's probably standing 8 or 9 yards deep, which allows him to get more vision and make these cuts.
A gain of 7. Marshall already 52 yards on the ground with his 8th carry. Make it 2nd and 3. Player having to come off the field for Georgia Southern. And now Sean Clark having words with the referee.
Yeah, I think he wants his momentum to keep going. App State's winning the first down right now. They're getting 5 and 6 yards on first down. I believe Georgia Southern's going to have to bring another man on the front to stop this inside trap in the inside zone.
Marshall breaks open. Marshall gets down to the 21. Marshall, his 9th carry, and he has been carrying this Mountaineers offense tonight.
Yeah, they're getting in the rhythm. They're seeing something they like. Again, a deep set. This is outside zone. Puts his foot in the ground. 63's leading up.
Wasting
a good play. Yeah, they're getting on the ball fast right here, so we got to speed up ourselves right here. App State usually doesn't move this speed, but they're starting to pick up the tempo.
Wasting no time, a quick dump to Wilson on first down. Mountaineers in the red zone. The message was clear from both head coaches. Touchdowns over field goals, and you have to finish drives.
Yeah, and that's the key to victory in any football game. And I think the way this game is going to turn out, I believe 8 or 7 points and touchdowns are going to be key right here.
Another handoff. Marshall short of the first down. Tackled at the 12. So it will be 3rd and 1.
Right. Again, I think they're at the same situation they like to be at, where they can run it or pass on the 3rd and 1 situation. I wouldn't be surprised for a little flip pass out here to the receiver either.
Rather make it 3rd and 2. Quick handoff. Marshall gets the first, pushing for extra yards.
App State O-line, they're starting to dominate right here. They're getting a great push on the Georgia Southern defense. Again, I believe Georgia Southern have to walk someone into the box and make a stop right here.
Gain of 6 for Marshall. 11 carries, 83 yards in the first half. 1st and goal from the 7. Marshall stays in at running back.
And if you're Georgia Southern, you're looking for Bullet or another D lineman to make a big play right here. You got to get a TFL to get these guys off track.
9th play of the drive. Marshall outside, pushing inside the 5, but holding him back was Marquez Watson Trent for the Eagles.
Yeah, Marquez does a great job of scraping over the top and running this play down. It looked like Marshall had a chance to get into the end zone right here.
Watson Trent, one of 30 seniors playing in their final home game inside of Paulson. Watson Trent, the leader of this Eagles defense. Redshirt senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 3rd in all of FBS in forced fumbles, has 4 on the year. 2nd and goal after a gain of 3 from Marshall. On the handoff again and gets stuffed inside.
Georgia Southern did a good job of corralling the football right there. And again, App State's at the same situation they want to be in again. They're at the 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 scenario. We have a penalty right here. I think it's going to back App State up.
Mountaineers are making their way back. We'll hear from Jeremy Parker. Rather not. This is a legal formation.
I think penalties are the only thing slowing App State down on this drive so far.
And notice that the tempo has picked up for App State on this drive, wasting no time.
And I think that's deliberate from the coach to kind of get a rhythm going right here. Just call the play and play fast.
2nd and goal again from the 9. Aguilar will keep, throws, touchdown! All alone was Eli Wilson, his 5th touchdown this season. Mountaineers on the board.
Great job by Aguilar sticking the ball into the running back's belly right here, what they've been doing all game. And then Wilson just comes off and runs a little route straight up the middle, hits him right in the chest with it. App State actually ran a play similar to this earlier on the run where no one checked Wilson coming out of the backfield.
And look at this, App State wanting to even the score. They are staying on the field for a 2-point conversion. App State 2 for 4 on 2-point conversions this year. Anderson Castle in at running back. Aguilar fakes, dumps it to Castle, incomplete. So Georgia Southern will stay ahead 8-6, but App State finally working past the penalties to get a touchdown.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger to come away with a touchdown right here. Sprint out, he's wide open right there. Nice, easy throw. Almost overthrew him. A good job by Wilson going up and making this grab. Right now they have Georgia Southern in a little bit of a bind, not knowing what's coming. So I expect the Eagles to make some changes here next drive.
Georgia Southern over App State. Mountaineers capping off a 10-play, 61-yard drive. Joey Aguilar finding Eli Wilson. However, the Mountaineers unable to convert the 2-point conversion, which is why the Eagles maintain the lead. Under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Danny Wall, Jason Foster, Whitney Hayworth on sideline for this final matchup of the regular season. Rivalry week, the 40th all-time matchup between Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. DeAndre Buchanan will take this one out of the end zone. Buchanan gets tripped up and goes to the 15. Eagles on offense when we come back after the break. 8-6 Georgia Southern on ESPN+.
And Foster running on the outside, and he has room to go in a big hole and cuts back. And there's Foster at his best, making things happen. And the handoff goes to Foster. He tries the right side again in a big hole. And he's still on his feet, and he breaks it. And Foster's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
Wow. Incredible start after the timeout. These guys got it together. Incredible start, incredible run by Jason Foster. Shows his athletic.
How about that for a trip down memory lane? 2007, Jason, where you played against Appalachian State, a big piece in that 38-35 win over the Mountaineers. What was it like for you to be a part of this App State-Georgia Southern rivalry?
It was a phenomenal experience because it's very intense, like as we stated earlier. And then going up to Boone, North Carolina, I believe they had won 30 straight games, so a lot of pressure on the Eagles to get ourselves back into the time at the playoff race in the FCS. So it's definitely a special moment and a great memory I've had.
I think it's also so special now that this rivalry is played on the final day of the regular season. First down for the Eagles, dumped it out to Derwin Burgess for the catch. I mean, it's been the 5th consecutive year that this rivalry has been played on rivalry week. When you were playing back in your day, Jason, it was more so of a Saturday afternoon kind of game, middle of the season.
Yeah, definitely middle of the season. I would have liked to have it at the end of the year kind of like this where all the chips were on the table. But that's just the way it fell. But the game and intensity was just as big at that point in time.
Another flag that was launched by the officials. And it seems like it's going to go on the Mountaineers. Sean Clark extremely frustrated.
Pass interference. Number 19, defense. 15 yards, previous spot. Automatic. First down.
And the true freshman, Nick Taylor.
I think App State's trying to contest the Georgia Southern receivers at the top of their route and not give them any easier catches. So I think that's why Coach Clark's so frustrated right here. They're doing a good job, but just got to keep their hands off.
That is the 6th Mountaineer penalty of the night. Georgia Southern with 4. A lot of laundry being thrown in the first half of this one. So first down for the Eagles from the 33. O.J. Arnold in at running back. French on play action, scrambles. Broke out of a brief tackle there by Brendan Harrington, gets a couple of yards.
Again, Brendan Harrington, he's doing a great job getting outside and forcing the quarterback to make plays with his foot.
And you see, just last week was a different ball game for the Mountaineers. No penalties the first time since 2018, but when you have a rivalry game like this, all the numbers kind of get thrown out the window.
Yeah, kind of like we stated earlier, definitely thrown out the window. We've seen 7 penalties so far. Hopefully both teams can clean up their act.
Second down. French, quick throw. Far side has L.V. Bunkley Shelton. Going to bring up 3rd and medium.
Yeah, a great throw right here. This was something they were working on in warm-ups, watching these guys catch slants. He sticks that left foot in the ground and the ball's on his way. Just wish he could stay up with it.
Already the 5th different Eagle with a reception in the first half.
Yeah, again, like we stated earlier, Georgia Southern really spreads the ball around, which makes them hard to guard.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 3. From the 40. French scrambles again, has space. French misses and gets the first down. How about J.C. French on the ground? His 7th rush of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a new look at the game where he's using his feet to make plays. I think, like you said, he got 7 rushes. I want to say 2 or 3 have been for first down. So as long as he can keep moving the chains with his feet, I believe he'll keep doing it. And a great move right here to freeze Harrison and dive for that first down.
I mean, the Eagles are so deep in the running back room already, 3 deep, and then you add French making plays on his feet.
Right. Quarterback runs are always hard to contain, and then it's something that App State is going to have to draw up at halftime to say, hey, this quarterback will run the ball.
Fresh set of downs, play action. French all day to throw. Pass caught. LV Bunkley Shelton at the 35.
That's a very strong throw. JC's showing off his arm strength right there, throwing across the hash and throwing looks like he threw a deep out over here. I think Bunkley Shelton, he's feeling it, wanting the ball a little bit more right here coming up.
Second catch for the fifth-year transfer from Oklahoma. A gain of 20 for the Eagles. First down from the 25. David Badinga on the carry. Tried to bounce outside. Won't get far. Maybe a gain of 1. But just once again shows the versatility that the Eagles have in the running back room.
Yeah, again, they could put anybody in there, any running back in there, and still run the same normal plays. I think App State kind of had enough of that. They crowded the line of scrimmage right there and were going to make something happen quickly, which they did.
And Badinga has been such a tremendous addition. Just a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. 3 touchdowns on the year. That was his 37th carry this season. French going to keep up the middle, breaks the tackle, and sneaks into the 20. Georgia Southern in the red zone. French, how about his play?
Yeah. Pull the guard right here, kick out block right here on the both linebackers. French sticks it up in like a running back. And again, this is something that Georgia Southern had to draw up these past couple of weeks because this is a new wrinkle that we have not seen, and I'm sure App State has not seen either.
Been part of the Eagles playing free. Coach Helton had a quote for his team following the loss to Troy that carried into the win against Coastal Carolina, trying to finish the job against the Mountaineers. Ball will be actually at the 21 after the 13-yard gain from J.C. French. Quick throw on play action, and caught once again by Bunkley Shelton.
Yeah, they really have it going on right now. Again, a throw to the wide side of the field, another slant, getting these guys on a one-on-one coverage and making plays. So I think the challenge is up for App State to get up here and pressure these receivers.
Gain of 6 off the completion to Bunkley Shelton. You look at defensive coordinator Scott Sloan looking on. That name and face may sound familiar to Eagle fans. Was previously a defensive coordinator at Georgia Southern prior to Clay Helton taking over. Handoff to Dalen Cobb. Cobb thought about throwing and will head out of bounds.
Very good job right there by the App State defense, not biting on the fake and also stringing his run out. And again, also just like Cobb, not to make a bad play worse, he just kept the ball and got what he could get.
Well, Cobb has thrown the ball a handful of times this season, so the Eagles have made some trick plays, something that Scott Sloan has not seen, because when Sloan was the defensive coordinator at Southern, it was more of a run-based offense than the air raid that we see here.
Yeah, Coach Sloan, when we was here, we ran the ball so much, so he didn't have to see all these trick plays, but now with the new style offense, he definitely has to keep an eye out for it.
On 3rd and 3, Arnold thought about throwing. Flag on the play. Arnold gets the first down inside the 10. We'll see if that flag is on the Eagles or the Mountaineers. Just once again, this will be the 11th penalty in the first half alone.
Yeah, it's hard to win a game with 11 penalties. Or I think it's 7 or 8 on App State and 4 or 5 on Georgia Southern.
6 on the Mountaineers, 4 on the Eagles, and we'll see where this 11 penalty goes to.
There are 2 fouls by the defense. Defensive holding. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense number 98. That'd be half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
Jason Hurts, hands to the face. Gonna move the Eagles halfway up.
Yeah, and these are big penalties right there. Again, they had him in a 3rd down situation. Going to give him 1st and goal right here. So I know App State's looking to make a big play and make a stand right here.
So 1st and goal from the 7. Jalen White in at running back. White, 3 carries in this first half, 23 yards. Another long drive for the Eagles. That's going to move Southern up to the 5. 7 Mountaineer penalties in the first. Got to make some changes going into the second half.
Yeah, I think Coach Clark's definitely going to harp on that as they get to the locker room. But if I'm the Eagles right here, I got Shelton up top one-on-one again. Maybe they can exploit that matchup.
First and goal. French to White. White! Touchdown!
Yeah, nice play right here by Georgia Southern. They bring a guy across to be the lead blocker. He actually turns back, has no one to block. I believe App State maybe needed to roll a safety or kick a linebacker on that possession. But a good call by the Eagles and way to find the end zone.
What a season it has been for the fifth-year senior Jalen White. The first time in the Clay Helton era that he's been available and healthy for this game against Appalachian State. His 10th rushing touchdown on the year, 33rd rushing touchdown in his career with the Eagles. PAT good by Gavin Stewart. It is a 15-6 Georgia Southern lead over Appalachian State.
Yeah, this is probably the easiest touchdown White to have all year. As he wrapped around, there was just no one there. You see the guard pull, both guys fold in. Nice block on 21, touchdown for Jalen White.
Friends, how many of us have them? Well, for Georgia Southern and Appalachian State, it's a rivalry that started back in the 1930s and then revived in the 80s and early 90s when both teams were a part of the SoCon. Now moving on in the FBS in the Sun Belt Conference, the 40th all-time matchup between these two programs.
Yeah, definitely a great history between the two teams, and it's glad that we still play it every year. You definitely want to keep a rivalry going for the fans and for the players.
And also now being played in the final weekend of the regular season as the Mountaineers returning this kick. Mikel Haywood stays on his feet and got to the 28. What needs to change for Appalachian State here in this final 2:42 of the first half, Jason?
Yeah, they got to quit with the penalties. They're running the ball very well, getting chunk plays on first down. If they eliminate the penalties, I think they can march up and down the field. So ultimately, keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah, 7 penalties for 63 yards, and then you add the pressure from the Eagles defense on quarterback Joey Aguilar. Now the run game has been the biggest piece of the Mountaineers offense tonight, led by Amani Marshall, 12 carries for 86 yards.
Yeah, Amani has a feel for the game right now, and he's definitely hitting it up in the hole. Again, another good run right here.
Anderson Castle on the first down handoff gets a few yards.
That's a good start. I think they definitely don't want to give the ball back to the Eagles right here, so they kind of stuck in that in-between zone if they want to go fast or kind of bleed this clock down a little bit.
Following the gain of 5. Castle again breaks outside and has blockers taken down at the 40. First down, App State.
Yeah, again, they're still running zone. I think this is probably maybe the 10th, 15th time they've run zone. They see something they like, and especially going to the left side, they have it going on.
Well, there's no other zone to run. It's either inside or outside. It takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Eagles lead 15-6 on ESPN+. It has been a challenging season for the App State Mountaineers. Earlier this year, Western North Carolina hit with catastrophic damage from Hurricane Helene. It canceled the Mountaineers game against Liberty in late September and caused so much damage to Western North Carolina. The Mountaineers are playing for something bigger than themselves, playing for all of Western North Carolina, still feeling the effects 7 to 8 weeks after Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, after you look at these pictures, you definitely kind of have a feel for them, and it shows you how resilient they are as a team and as a community right there.
And Coach Clark talked about how big that win last week against James Madison was. Mekhi Jackson gets the catch for a first down. Whitney Hayworth has more on App State.
Well, Danny, as you mentioned in the fact that Hurricane Helene, the impact that it has, $50 billion in damages statewide. and it's certainly something that will not be fixed overnight. Not only was Western North Carolina impacted, Eastern Tennessee was as well, and you've seen that area of the country just truly come together. And the biggest thing to remember, as Coach Clark mentioned, is not only are they playing for more than just themselves, but you have to remember that this will be something that the entire nation needs to donate and continue to help for years and years to come.
Thanks, Whitney. Anderson Castle on the second down handoff, going to bring up 3rd and short. It's time racing down here in the first half, approaching the final minute. Mountaineers hurry up offense. Castle on 3rd and short, gets the first down, tackled at the 35.
Yeah, App State, they're sticking with their game plan right here, still getting chunk yards. Castle's come in and done the same thing that Marshall's done, so they have not lost a step with the running back position right here. But it shows you how good a job their offensive line is doing at the moment.
This shows how resilient App State has been, and now in this matchup tonight, fighting for bowl eligibility at 5-5 on the season. On first down, play action, Aguilar throws deep and incomplete. Looked like he was intended to go to Eli Wilson, but overshot it to throw it away.
Yeah, had a little miscommunication right there as he stepped up in the pocket. I think he believed Wilson was going to continue down the field, but not a bad job throwing the ball away, saving some clock and saving some yardage.
Neither team has called a timeout in the first half, so there is plenty of time that the Mountaineers can take to try to get a touchdown or a field goal before heading to the locker room.
Yeah, without calling a timeout, they're still able to run the ball because they're on the fringe of field goal range. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pop a run or a quick screen right here.
Second down. Aguilar with time. Throws, and the pass is caught over the middle. Michael Hetzel puts App State in the red zone.
Now that's a phenomenal catch right there as he's going to the ground, reached up, used all hands to pull that ball in and keep it off the ground.
App State wasting no time. Eagles send the house, and incomplete on first down. Aiden Jackson there on the coverage on Hetzel. That was Hetzel's 4th reception of the season. And coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some scores around the Sun Belt, also first half stats and highlights, along with some shots from the Eagles' senior day prior to the start of this game. Second and 10 from the 20. 27 seconds remain in the first half. Aguilar throws, end zone, incomplete. He's going for Mekhi Jackson and was broken up by DeAndre Morris. Morris with an interception last week against Coastal Carolina, one of 3 Eagles with picks last week. And a flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 11. Be half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Costly penalty for the Eagles, a face mask call on Morris.
Yeah, I think on off the line of scrimmage, the receiver had a good shake. He just kind of reached his hands out there, got him in the face mask area. Good call by the referee.
That will put the Mountaineers at the 10.
Now with the 3 timeouts, I think the Mountaineers can still run their outside zone play that's been so successful right at the moment. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and run this ball.
All 3 timeouts left, 21 seconds.
And also Marshall's back in the game, so I don't know if he was just taking a rest or something was wrong with him, but he's back in.
Aguilar throws, and over the hands of Jackson.
Aguilar's just a little bit late right there. Jackson had him on the initial slant route along with the swing. He just missed the window. He threw it a little bit late.
Along with the incompletion, just takes 4 seconds off the clock. So 17 seconds, still all 3 of your timeouts.
I think Georgia Southern D-line needs to make a big play right here. I think App State's content with dropping back and throwing the ball, so they need to get a little pressure on Aguilar, maybe get a TFL or a sack to get these guys off schedule.
We already have a takeaway, an interception from Jacob Ferguson. A timeout will be called. Sean Clark seems to be upset. Timeout called by Georgia Southern. So with the Mountaineers fighting for bowl eligibility, Georgia Southern already eligible for a bowl game. Here's a look at some of the bowl games, the tie-ins for the Sun Belt Conference. Georgia Southern played in the Myrtle Beach Bowl last season with a loss to Ohio to finish out the year 6-7.
Yeah, I think with these bowl game matchups on the line, of course you want to win the game and get to a bowl. I was with App State not making it the year before. They're definitely looking to get into this situation and get themselves into a bowl game.
Yeah, it was the 2022 game between the Eagles and Mountaineers where both teams are fighting for bowl eligibility last season. Georgia Southern, although lost the Sun Belt Championship game to Troy, won the Cure Bowl against Miami of Ohio, 13-9. Out of the Eagles, timeout. 2nd and goal for App State. Play action. Aguilar throws and overshoots Wilson. That is the second straight time Aguilar's done that.
Yeah, Georgia Southern switched it up right there. They went man across the board. Again, that's where it forces you to make a good throw. And unfortunately, Aguilar could not make a throw. They had him backpedaling a little bit. He just kind of tossed the ball up for grabs, hoping his guy could bring it down.
12 seconds left in the first. And if you're the Mountaineers, you need to score here. Touchdowns over field goals has been the key from both head coaches.
Right, you definitely want to score, but you also got to keep this ball safe. You have 3 points in your pocket, no bad throws here.
Play clock winds down. The Mountaineers will call their first time out.
Georgia Southern called the time.
30 seconds in length.
Rather, it's the Eagles.
I think the Eagles want to make sure their communication is correct about keeping the ball in front of them right now. No chances. Make sure you get this guy tackled before the end zone.
What are you looking for if you're head coach Clay Helton for the Eagles?
Yeah, right now you're looking for the guys to be aware with their eye movement. Don't get faked by any ball fakes, anybody crossing face. So someone crosses face, someone's going to be coming into your zone. So right now they're playing zone. Don't chase the guy. Play your position. Do your job.
Third season for Coach Helton with Georgia Southern. First 2 years finishing 6-6 in the regular season, but losing their bowl game. So 7-5, rather, for Georgia Southern, 7-4 that is. Already an improvement. 5-2 in the Sun Belt and a chance for a conference championship game. 3rd and goal. Aguilar scrambles, throws, caught! Wilson. Did the ball reach in? No. It's going to bring up 4th and short. You got a man down for Georgia Southern in the end zone.
Aguilar with a great throw right there. Trying to get into the end zone. It's going to be close. I'm probably going to go to replay if he gets this ball in the end zone.
The initial ruling is that Wilson did not get in, and a player is still down for Georgia Southern. That is Tracy Hill Jr., the redshirt sophomore. You saw there on the replay as we saw Wilson try to stretch in. You saw a collision on the bottom half of your screen where you saw 2 Eagles collide with each other.
Yeah, friendly fire injuries are never a good thing. And he's up, so that's a positive sign right here.
So bottom of your screen, ooh.
Yeah, both guys running full speed. Neither one saw each other. Definitely a hard collision to watch right there.
Hill colliding with Chance Gamble.
He looks to be up and okay. Maybe just having a stinger.
Well, here's the situation for App State. The current call is 4th and 1. 4th and goal from the 1. Wilson did not get the ball in the end zone, breaking the plane before he stepped out of bounds. And it seems like the Mountaineers are going to go for it.
I think it's the right call. They've been running the ball very well. Earlier, the coach stated they wanted touchdowns and not field goals, so this is the right decision to me.
First 4th down opportunity for the Mountaineers tonight, and a timeout call. And it will be the Eagles using all 3 of their timeouts here in the red zone. The Mountaineers not calling one.
Yeah, the Eagles definitely want to keep these guys out of the end zone, but I think they know App State's about to come with a little bit of motion, stick the ball in the running back's belly, and try to probably run the tight end to the flat again. So just got to be coached up on your eyes and stay at home, unlike the last play.
Well, one thing we've seen from Georgia Southern's offense is J.C. French run the ball a lot more. Maybe a chance for Joey Aguilar to do the same, potential tush push on 4th and goal.
Yeah, he hasn't run the ball a lot at the moment, so it would definitely be a call that would probably catch Georgia Southern defense offside, maybe a tush push or even a quarterback draw if they're confident enough to call it.
And here's the thing. The Mountaineers get the ball to start the second half. So you need a score here to keep that momentum going to the locker room and then to bring it back out in the 3rd. So here we go. 4th and goal at the 1 for App State. Aguilar, handoff, and he won't get it. What a stop for the Eagles defense.
Great stop right there by the Eagles, plugging the holes right there. They try to run Wilson across as a bluff, but the Eagles did not bite and fell in on the ball. Look at the push right here by the Eagles and resetting the line of scrimmage. Marshall had nowhere to go on that play right there. I think the defensive coordinator knew this play was coming. They plugged the holes. They were going to make App State do something different besides run the zone, the inside zone.
When you talk about plugging the holes, Latrell Bullard, 360 pounds, just made it impossible for the Mountaineers' O-line to find an opening. And with that push, it provided the rest of the Eagles' defense to get a stop on Marshall.
Correct. Playing nose guard, you don't get a lot of stats, a lot of shine, but that was a huge play right there by resetting the line of scrimmage, pushing the center off, and letting the linebackers able to flow in and make these tackles.
Clay Helton has said big men win championships. Not just the offensive line, but the defensive line as well. And now you got a situation for Georgia Southern here. They have the ball at the 1.
Yeah, just want to make sure you get the snap and fall forward.
French does that, falling forward, and the Eagles will head to the locker room with a 15-6 lead at halftime. What a first half we have in Paulson. And it seems a player slow to get up for Georgia Southern. That is Bryson Broadway, the right tackle. Going to get helped off the field. But Georgia Southern, 15-6 lead, a big 4th down stop of the defense at the 1, at the goal line.
Yeah, that's essentially a takeaway from the Georgia Southern defense. App State had a chance to get points, elected not to get it. Just as good as a turnover in that situation. So Eagles got to be feeling good going into the locker room, and this momentum may carry over to the second half of their defense.
The Eagles continuing to control their destiny. They have to take care of business tonight with a win over the Mountaineers and get some luck from James Madison to defeat Marshall to enter the Sun Belt Conference Championship.
Yeah, and James they're undefeated at home, so it's definitely going to be a good game between them and Marshall. So I'm sure the Eagle fans will have their eyes on that game as well.
Only 157 yards of total offense for the Eagles, 213 for the Mountaineers, but it seems like Georgia Southern has made their possessions matter the most, especially with the opening drive, playing fast and playing free, and we have seen that from other players being able to add on. J.C. French actually leads the Eagles in rushing with 36 yards and 9 carries. Whitney Hayworth is standing by with Eagles head coach Clay Helton.
Coach Helton, big defensive stop just a moment ago. How do you assess that play and how huge that was?
Yeah, really big because they get the ball in the second half. That was a major stop to stay up 2 scores. out. Defense will be on the field. Need to get a stop, try to get this thing up to 3 scores.
A lot of penalties for both teams. What specifically do you want to see Georgia Southern clean up in the second half?
Well, we get a little bit of a holding call that stops the drive in the red zone. Get a face mask penalty down there. Just need to. It's an emotional game, and as emotion goes up, intelligence goes down some. Sometimes that's hard to control with 18 to 22-year-olds. But I think both sides are keeping it clean right now. We'll access and get in here, come back out, and try to win the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
An emotional matchup, indeed, a rivalry described as deeper than hate. Georgia Southern leading at halftime, 15-6 over Appalachian State. The Mountaineers with the football to start the second half. We'll talk first half stats and more when we come back on ESPN+. Moments away from the second half, beginning on ESPN+. Georgia Southern a 15-6 lead. The Mountaineers will get the football to start the second half. Gavin Stewart boots this one deep. And returning at the 5 for App State. Haywood gets pushed back to the 20. So look at the first half stats. The Mountaineers have more total yards and even controlling the running game, but it's been the penalties, Jason, that has really hampered the Mountaineers in the first half.
Yeah, they've done a great job of moving the football. But like you said, these penalties hamper their drives every time, especially when they cross midfield, false start, holding, these type of penalties. If they can erase these penalties, this game will get tight.
Also, the fourth down stop at the goal line from the Eagles defense, along with the fast start from Georgia Southern's offense, has been why the Eagles maintain a 15-6 lead. Mountaineers will start from the 24. Amani Marshall up the middle and gets to the 30.
Good job by Marshall right here, sticking it up in here. Same thing they were doing in the first half. I think they're going to try to continue to establish this run game so they can open up some deeper play action later on in the game.
Gain of 6. That was Marshall's 14th carry of the night, now with 92 yards on the ground. 2nd and 4. Marshall again breaks through and gets the Mountaineer first down.
App State just running the same play back to back. I think if they're sitting 4 and 5 yards a pop, they're going to stick with this type of run.
12th first down of the night for App State. The Mountaineers, it was the high-tempo offense that kind of caught the Eagles off guard late in the second quarter. It's really trying to push through and not have so many penalties. Play action, throw to Mekhi Jackson, caught, and Jackson across midfield for another App State first down, still fighting. And now this is where you'll see the chippiness really pick up throughout this game.
Yeah, you can definitely see the intensity level come up as old linemen coming in trying to clean people up right here. But a great catch and a great route by the receiver on this RPO. Puts his left foot in the ground. As soon as he puts his foot in the ground, the ball's on his way. Great job by Aguilar, and it seemed like they're on nice rhythm.
Mekhi Jackson, his third reception, that one for 17 yards. Mountaineers moving. Aguilar, a touchdown and an interception, just over 100 yards, and breaking through Mikael Haywood. Another first down for Appalachian State.
It looks like App State have come out with the mindset that they're going to run this ball no matter what. So I think the Eagles are going to have to change the front and bring the safety down into the box to stop this potent run game by App State.
And the Mountaineer offense just moving. That may have been the emphasis from head coach Sean Clark in the locker room at halftime. A gain of 13. Mountaineers at the 34. Play action. Aguilar throws near side, pass caught, and sliding out of bounds is Christian Horn for his first reception. App State in the red zone. Whitney Hayward caught up with App State head coach Sean Clark.
Well, Danny, you just mentioned it. What Coach Clark may have talked to his team about is getting down the field and converting drives. He said in terms of self-inflicted wounds, he said we have to clean that up. We cannot continue to have penalties like we did in the first half. And he said, but we have to execute. taking it back to what he told us earlier this week. They have to finish drives, and they have to execute, especially if they can get in the red zone. He reiterated, field goals will not win this game.
Thanks, Whitney. App State from the 19 on first down. Aguilar throws, was looking for Wilson, incomplete. Davon Gilmore on the coverage, makes it 2nd and 10.
That was great coverage right there by Gilmore. Wasn't able to get his head around, but put those arms up to stop this completion. Wilson then ran a great route coming up the seam. Just a little bit more on that ball. I think App State could have had a touchdown right there.
And touchdowns over field goals is the key. That's why App State didn't go for that field goal on 4th and goal. They wanted to try to punch it in for a score before halftime.
Right, they definitely wanted to get a touchdown, but they're in a unique position right now. If this situation comes up again, I believe they have to move themselves within one score to keep this game close.
Quick throw by Aguilar. And a fight for the ball between Tracy Hill and Christian Horn. Still fighting, and it's an interception. Hill came up with it.
That's an amazing interception right there. He drove on the ball full speed, got his hand in, and that ball popped right to him.
Another takeaway for the Eagles defense. And the second interception for Tracy Hill.
Yeah, these are drive killers right here. App State's moving down the field, try to throw a long out route from the opposite side of the field. Hill did a great job of driving on that football. A little bad, the throw wasn't on target by Aguilar right there. That ball needed to be on the outside versus the inside, and that gave Hill the opportunity to pick this ball off.
That is another close throw from Joey Aguilar that ends up being a pick. His second tonight. Wow, that ball was in between the legs of Hill.
The previous play is under video review.
And the officials want to look it over. We'll have an official review.
Yeah, I think this play stands. The ball popped to him like a magnet, was stuck in between his legs. We've never seen it hit the ground right there. I think Georgia Southern has themselves another turnover here.
That is another amazing pick. First, it was Jacob Ferguson. We couldn't tell initially that it was an interception. We were thinking it was a fumble from Eli Wilson, but Ferguson somehow kept that ball up. And now you have another amazing pick from Hill.
Right, I think Georgia Southern can contribute that to the power of Paulson right there. Some just good things happen for you at night down here. Obviously, not a great throw by Aguilar, but the Eagles in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I think it stands. I don't see this ball hitting the ground.
Well, here's the thing. You got to have irrefutable evidence. And
I think he has it.
I don't see the ball hit the ground. And even right there, as they're fighting for the ball, it did not hit the ground from my view.
Yeah, no evidence from here, from our view, to overturn this call.
You see Horn there trying to rip that ball away from Hill.
Again, App State has a great drive going to get to the red zone. First time they stalled out. Here it looks like it's going to be an interception. And both times they're in the range to get points either by field goal or by touchdown.
And this is a drive killer for the Mountaineers. Here the official
After video review, the ruling on the field stands.
It is indeed an interception for Tracy Hill.
Yeah, App State right here, the defense has to stand up and force a punt right here. Georgia Southern's looking to go up 3 scores. And with the style of play that App State's doing right now with the running the football, I believe App State must get a stop on this drive.
Amazing. How about this Eagles defense? 2 takeaways and a turnover on downs.
Right. Coach Hilton, he preached about getting turnovers as a way to win this football game. Like I said, with the stop and the 2 interceptions, the Eagles are on the right path to win this game with what they're doing.
The biggest thing that Coach Shelton said for the defense was to cause havoc and make Aguilar uncomfortable. And they have done that so far tonight. Eagles take over at the 16. Play action. French throws across the middle. Dalen Cobb with the catch and down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, nice play. They stuck it into Jalen White's stomach right here, pull it out, make a nice throw, kind of taking the play out of the App State playbook right here by running the zone RPO action right here.
Dalen Cobb, the 6th Eagle, with a reception tonight. And J.C. French, 12 of 14, highly efficient here tonight. Another play action. French, good protection, throws and has Josh Dallas. Dallas breaks free, spinning inside the 40. Another big play for the Eagles.
Yeah, JC seems like he's so much more comfortable later on in the season with these throws and how he's in command of this offense. You see him get the pressure right here. He steps up in the pocket, keeps it up, and delivers a nice throw to his favorite target right here.
Dallas's 5th reception of the night. French still going to throw, looking, will keep, ball is out, and recovered by the Mountaineers. Joshua Donald comes up with it, and just like that, the Mountaineers recover.
Yeah, the App State got the stop that they needed. The Eagles were on the drive, moving the ball very effectively. I think they had a little miscommunication on this play right here. JC faked the screen. The receiver seemed like he was blocking, got out of the pocket a little bit, got to cover that ball up. Great job right there by App State, pursuing the football and getting it off the ground.
Michael Fletcher punched that one out from behind, and Joshua Donald with the fumble recovery.
Yeah, that just shows you the hustle that's going on in this game. Donald playing from a nose position, coming out there and picking up a fumble 20, 30 yards downfield. Shows you how intense this rivalry is.
First fumble recovery of the season for Donald. First forced fumble for Fletcher. And the Mountaineers back on offense. Mikael Haywood on the first down run.
Georgia Southern's trying to switch it up right here on first down. They send a blitz from the outside. App State actually picks it up and cut the zone right back inside of it. I think App State, if they can stick with these first down runs and get 6 and 7 yards, they can get themselves back into this game.
Haywood, a gain of 8, and that is why in these rivalry games, anything can happen.
Definitely. I think like Whitney said earlier, you can throw out the stats and all that stuff during a rivalry game. Spooky stuff happens at night games, especially in rivalries.
Haywood on the carry, nowhere to go, tried to bounce out and was swarmed by a number of Eagles. Watson, Trent, and Jackson there on the stop.
Yeah, Watson Trent's been all over the field tonight. Like I know you mentioned earlier, he causes fumbles, and there's a reason that he causes a lot of fumbles. His pursuit to the football is unmatched by anybody.
Even though the Eagles unable to keep their drive going, the defense for the Eagles has been one of the driving forces so far to start the second half.
Yeah, they seem like they just took the momentum they had from Coastal and just carried over into this game. They're playing fast and they're playing free and they're getting to the football. Have App State in the 3rd and long situation where they can expect a pass.
Play clock at 1. Aguilar gets it off. 3rd and 4. Aguilar keeps and ran right into a wall, pushing for the first down. And Aguilar got it.
Great job by Aguilar going to get the first down right here, kind of similar to what French was doing on these 3rd down runs. He had nothing downfield. He tucks the ball and finds the sticks. You get to see his eyes get down, throw a shoulder down. You like to see him throw a shoulder down a little bit and not get hit so square. But a great job moving the chains with his feet.
This is the moment where your seniors have to lead, and for Joey Aguilar, he has to really lead this Mountaineer offense downfield.
Yeah, he's the key to it. They got to make. I think they're going to have to make throws in the red zone as they get down there.
Amani Marshall on first down, wrapped up. MJ Shroud gets there.
I think Georgia Southern D-line is doing a better job of playing with their hands and keeping the linemen off the second level. And this is why you're seeing more linebackers get tackles closer to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 2 for Marshall. Now his 5th consecutive 100-yard rushing game.
I think App State has to throw the ball on the second down because Georgia Southern starting to pin their ears and bring blitzes off the corner.
Aguilar will throw, quick fire. Another first down. Mekhi Jackson, his 4th catch tonight.
Yeah, App State's, they loving the play action to the left side where he's coming to his vision. Easy throw for Aguilar right there. Every time they need a big play, they're looking for Mekhi Jackson.
Aguilar pretty much 50-50 with his throws. That was his 10th completion out of 19 attempts, 131 yards, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. The injury timeout on the field for the Eagles. A large fall. Walking off with a trainer. That takes us to a commercial break. 7:29 to go. Eagles still lead 15-6. The Mountaineers driving after getting the ball back off a fumble recovery. Look at the double box as James Madison and Marshall underway in Harrisonburg. If the Dukes defeat Marshall and the Eagles defeat App State, it's Georgia Southern going to the Sun Belt Conference Championship.
Open up the hole, sets up a big opportunity.
And Barnett
Dukes
goes
in
down.
The red zone,
there was an issue yet again with the mesh point. We've seen this now in 3 straight games from the James Madison offense. What is going on?
Southern fans are looking at this game, hoping that James Madison can make some plays right here. But also on this, the Eagles have to take care of their own business before they look over at the James Madison game.
Yeah, the fans might be tuning in and catching updates, but for the players and the coaches, it's all about taking care of business here in Paulson. It's App State continuing to drive. Marshall, the carry on first down, doesn't get anywhere. I mean, it's been a back and forth third quarter where the Mountaineers had momentum but didn't turn the ball over, and then the Eagles trying to make their way downfield, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, like they're just trading possessions right now. I feel like Georgia Southern defense has finally gotten to a groove right there, stopping this zone. So I think App State is going to have to find some different ways to get the ball downfield going forward.
Gain of 1 from Marshall, 2nd and 9. Marshall again up the middle, gets a couple of yards.
Yeah, Davon Gilmore's been in a lot of tackles here lately. I think he really has a feel for what's going on and how to read this. I think Aguilar is going to eventually have to pull this ball out and run it himself. These guys want this zone to be successful.
Gilmore, the 6-year senior from North Charleston, South Carolina, playing in his final game at Paulson. 3rd and 6. Eagles showing blitz. Aguilar with time. Throws. Incomplete.
Got some sticky coverage out there by Hill. Great job of staying on top of the receiver, not allowing him to get over. Aguilar tried to fit it in back shoulder, but he got his head around and knocked that ball down. A great play by the Georgia Southern defense.
Better find the mop because it is getting sticky in Paulson Stadium. Defense making big plays, and App State's offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, the coach called. He says a rivalry game. They're going to go for it and take their opportunities once they cross midfield. Obviously a huge play for both teams coming up right here.
App State already unsuccessful once in the first. And a timeout will be called. It will be on the Eagles. 6:08 to go in the third. Both teams will talk things over right back after the break.
Welcome to South.
Dukes. And it's going to be Petaway shifting and finishing with authority. James Madison. That is how you start.
James Madison has fired the first shot, getting on the board over the Thundering Herd. Georgia Southern wins, and Marshall loses to the Dukes. The Eagles are heading to the Sun Belt Conference Championship to take on Louisiana.
Yeah, for James Madison, I know they're looking for get a 10-win season, obviously winning tonight and possibly a bowl game. So they have a lot at stake as well. And again, these Eagles right here, definitely trying to get themselves to a bowl game and they're now rooting on the Dukes.
The Sun Belt East has been such a gauntlet this season. App State was picked to be the favorites. And then you have James Madison and Marshall, the way they've been playing this year. You add Georgia Southern and some of the late theatrics throughout the season against Marshall and South Alabama. I mean, it could really go up to anybody. But now, final game of the season, it's either Georgia Southern or Marshall heading to the conference championship. Mountaineers going for it on 4th and 6. Aguilar throws, caught, first down. Wilson inside the 15. And a big play to keep this drive alive for App State.
Good job by Aguilar moving his feet. Again, finding his go-to target. Wilson comes across field, has a defender on his back, all hands on the catch, breaking a tackle, tucking the ball and getting upfield. I think App State is going to have to feature him more to get back in this game.
Eli Wilson recently came back last week against James Madison after missing about a month of action. He gets that one for a gain of 31 yards. Already a touchdown on the night for the fifth-year senior as well. Mountaineers from the 6 on 1st and goal. End zone out of the hands of Hetzel.
Again, a great throw right here by Aguilar. Just slips through the hands of Hetzel. Get the ball, nice arc on the throw. He turns around trying to find his football. I think he just simply misses the pass right here. Something they may revisit later, see if they can get this throw down.
That is the second time we have seen a ball placed on the money for the Mountaineers and cannot convert.
Yeah, that's the football game for you. Big-time players got to make big-time plays, and that was a chance for them to make it right there, and they did not.
2nd and goal. Marshall. Nowhere to go on that play. Taken down by DeAndre Morris at the end.
Good job for Georgia Southern D-line to stand laterally. They didn't get upfield, and they made this run cut back. Again, it seems like they have a good feel for the zone at this moment. The only thing I would worry about is the quarterback keeping it next time on the pull, making sure someone checks for him.
Inside 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. App State very efficient on 3rd down, 5 of 8.
Last time Georgia Southern played tight man down here in the red zone. See if they go to the same type look.
3rd and goal from the 6. Aguilar throws. Jackson, touchdown.
I think App State knew Georgia Southern was going to play man look. They kind of learned a natural pick play right here. Mekhi Jackson comes off. It's supposed to be an out route, but Aguilar put a little bit of air up on it. A great throw for the touchdown.
Jackson, his 5th touchdown this season, capping off a 12-play drive for 65 yards, taking off 6 minutes of clock. Michael Hughes out for the PAT. It took some time for App State, was moving on the opening drive to start the half, and a turnover picked by Tracy Hill, and Michael Fletcher forcing the fumble on defense, getting the ball back. The Mountaineers answer back with a touchdown, 15-13 from Paulson. Eagles get the football after the break.
Nice arc on this ball. He missed the play before here with his little natural pick. Jackson looking over his shoulder. Aguilar just a nice touch. Keeping the ball in bounds is a big part too.
ESPN.
Mekhi Jackson, his 5th touchdown reception on the season, makes it 15-13 Georgia Southern with under 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. The Mountaineers able to answer back after having their opening drive halted by an interception. The defense forcing a takeaway, fumble recovery. As that ball sails in the end zone. Whitney Hayworth has more on the wide receiver, Mekhi Jackson.
25-yard line. Well, Danny, offensive coordinator for App State, Frank Ponce, told us earlier this week that so many times young guys see the Batman, the Caden Robinsons of the group, and want to be their Robin. But when Caden went down with injury, Coach Ponce told Mekhi that why be Robin when you can be Superman? You can be the superhero too. He was telling us that versus James Madison, that Mekhi said, Coach, don't forget about me. I'm here however you need me. And that his touchdown catch against the Dukes was his own suggestion. And Coach Ponce mentioned how important it is to have a player-led team in that regard. So who knows, maybe that touchdown just now for App State was Mekhi's idea as well.
Thanks, Whitney. As first down for the Eagles, the completion to Marcus Sanders. Now you see the offense is starting to get going for both the Eagles and the Mountaineers. How do you keep that consistency moving forward, Jason?
Yeah, I think both offenses have gotten themselves into a rhythm. And for Georgia Southern, I think the play-action game is going to be the key. And obviously for App State, keep running the zone. So as long as they can keep J.C. French clean in the pocket, I think the Eagles can still move the ball.
That play from French to Sanders, a gain of 16 from a 41 up the middle. Jalen White, his 5th carry tonight, also has a touchdown back in the first half.
The Eagles are doing a good job of mixing up right here. Obviously the RPO first, then come back with the run. Now they're in a position where they can take another shot downfield after a good run on first down.
Gain of 8 for White. You see his numbers playing in his first game against Appalachian State since 2021. White again up the middle. He gets the first down, and the drive continues for the Eagles.
And that's a big run by Georgia Southern Eagles to be able to get first downs by running the football. Usually it's through the air. But right now, if they can run the football and continue to get first down, I think they can go down here and punch the ball into the end zone.
That was the one thing that offensive coordinator Ryan Appalachian talked about for his Eagles offense. Along with starting fast, you have to be productive on first down. You don't want to end up in second and long situations. That leads to third and long situations as well. French, all day to throw. Scrambles, and French running out with a flag back at the 48.
Holding. Offense, number 57. 10 yards, previous spot. Replay. Second down.
Holding from the center, Chandler Strong.
These are the penalties you can't have right here. It gets you so far off schedule. Now you almost have to throw the ball. And when you're in these situations, it lets App State D-line be able to tee off on the quarterback. The Eagles have to figure out a way to run the ball consistently to score touchdowns.
What's crazy, that was the first penalty in the second half. It's been a clean third quarter as far as the penalties go. So 1st and 20. Men in motion, Dallas and Tyler Fromm. Under 2:30 to go in the third. White gets across midfield.
That's a good check right there by J.C. French. They were sitting in 2 deep, had a 3-man down line. Just take the 9 to 10 yard gain they give you on first down. And now you're in a kind of manageable second down situation where you can throw a short pass and have a 3rd and short right here coming up.
And the benefit for Georgia Southern at this late in the season, just having the depth that they have. You saw numerous players switch in and out. O.J. Arnold now in at running back. Bo Johnson in at tight end. I mean, it's just a testament to the team's nutrition and their maintenance this late in the year to be this deep in the final week of the season.
Yeah, and deeper teams usually win late in the season, and Georgia Southern, like you said, have done a great job of making themselves deep. Johnson's going, good kick. They've done a great job of staying healthy, so to speak, and that's a testament to being in the weight room, obviously preventive maintenance, and this is what you get later on in the season. You're still able to play high-quality football.
And that is why J.C. French has been able to spread the football around. The reception by Bo Johnson, his 9th this season, and that is the 8th different Eagle that has made a catch tonight. So 3rd and 1. Now David Badinga in her running back. French under center. Jet sweep to Dalen Cobb. Cobb gets a first down, taken down at the 31. Whitney Hayworth has more on Georgia Southern.
Danny, you were just speaking alongside Jason about the nutrition and the strength and conditioning and athletic training and such. Well, Georgia Southern calls all of those different external staffs unsung heroes, those that are working behind the scenes to make sure that these players are at their best day in and day out. One of the most interesting things, you talked about nutrition in particular. Georgia Southern added a nutrition program specifically for the football program when Coach Helton came in. That is something I don't think people really realize, that not every program in Division I football even has. Well, Georgia Southern has a registered dietitian specifically working just with the football team. And I can tell you from being around this team every once in a while, that team is well fed.
And it's made a difference here in this game tonight, in the final game of the season. French overthrowing LV Bunkley Shelton on first down, makes it 2nd and 10. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Eagles at the 32. Just a third incompletion for French tonight. Good protection, and French finds Thurman Burgess, who slips out of tackle and down at the 25. Now here's the thing, the clock did not start when the play began. And now it's starting to go down.
I think the Eagles are going to take it to the fourth quarter. But a great job by French throwing the ball over the middle of the field. I think to win big games, you got to be able to throw it to the middle of the field and convert first down.
We are headed to the fourth quarter. 4's up from Clay Helton and the rest of the Eagles. 15-13 over App State. More to come after the break on ESPN+. Clay Helton got his first taste of the App State rivalry in year 1 in 2022, and what a thriller it was. Kyle Van Treese, double overtime, finding Ezra Archie in the end zone. 51-48 the final, and it secured bowl eligibility for Georgia Southern and took App State out of bowl contention.
Yeah, these games are always close right here, just like tonight. Both teams are fighting to the end. App State still trying to get the bowl game. Georgia Southern trying to make a championship game.
And with that, an update from Harrisonburg. The Dukes leading 14-0 on Marshall. Georgia Southern driving 3rd and 3 from the 25. French handoff to Jalen White, and White leans forward for the first down.
It's a great finish by Jalen White right there. He has a little spin move he kind of does at the end and thrusts himself forward that he does a lot of times on his run. Those extra 2 and 3 yards, ultimately what got the first down right there.
We've said it numerous times, touchdowns over field goals. That's the message from Clay Helton. And the Eagles need a touchdown here to keep this lead going. Fresh set of downs from the 22. French on play action, gonna run. Breaks outside, French inside the 10, inside the 5. J.C. French getting it done with his feet again. 11th carry tonight.
Yeah. You watch J.C. as he climbs up in the pocket. He's tucking the ball this time. Again, makes a guy miss, puts his shoulder downfield. He's trucking for the end zone, coming up a few yards short. But if he uses his feet to move the sticks again.
French ran for 19 yards, makes it 1st and goal Eagles from the 3. Under center with White at running back, Dallas in motion. White bounces out and will walk in. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Jalen White strolls in for another easy touchdown. Again, good setup by Appleton on the offense right here. Runs a guy in motion again across the formation. Tricks App State defenders, their eyes in the wrong spot. Comes back with the counter. White's able to walk into the end zone.
Who would have thought the 1-2 punch in the running game was from Jalen White and J.C. French. White, his 2nd rushing touchdown tonight, capping off an 11-play, 75-yard drive. Gavin Stewart's PAT right down the middle. Georgia Southern, a 22-13 lead over the Mountaineers.
They pull the guard and the tight end. Hooks App State again like they did earlier, going to the left side. Almost the same setup with the counter motion, able to stroll into the end zone for an easy touchdown.
So they're coming right into J.C. J.C. French, a career-high 57 yards on the ground, and had that 19-yard run that set up the Jalen White touchdown for his 2nd on the night. Eagles leading 22-13.
Yeah, Jalen right here, he climbs up in the pocket again. His eyes are downfield. Nice stiff arm, protecting the ball again. He's going back to one of the throwback Georgia Southern quarterbacks are rushing the ball right there.
Looked like you out there, didn't it?
Yeah, he got me beat right there.
Makes you reminisce about the triple option days back when you played in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, it brings back some memories right there. Definitely climbing up in the pocket, but he's doing a good job of moving the chains with his feet tonight, and I think that's the key to success for them.
We saw some highlights from your 2007 game against App State. Was that your favorite memory against the Mountaineers? What was your favorite overall in this robbery?
I'd probably, 2007 or 2005, I actually had a punt return for like 90 yards or something like that. That was probably the first time I actually got back there to do punt return in college, and that worked for me.
So the Mountaineers need a response on this next drive. Spend less and stream more sports with a special offer from ESPN Plus. Save $20 and get an annual subscription for the price of 9 months. Mountaineers will start from the 25. What needs to happen on this drive for App State, Jason?
One, they got to be penalty-free to start this drive. If they can stay on track, they can still run their normal offense. So I'd expect more zone with a lot of quick throws to maybe widen out the Georgia Southern defense.
Aguilar on first down, give to Amani Marshall up the middle. Gain of 1, maybe 2 yards. This is where you have to lock in, especially as the temperature continues to drop in Statesboro. Currently now 39 degrees. You got fans that are shivering out there in Polson.
Yeah, probably the coldest game that Georgia, I know it is the coldest game that Georgia Southern's played as of late this year. So as a player, you got to keep yourself warm on the sideline and stay engaged, because it's easy to kind of lose focus with the temperatures dropping.
Whitney got to be near the App State bench and got to get some heat from those heaters down there on the sideline, keeping the Mountaineers warm. 2nd and 8. Marshall still fighting for extra yards and gets stuffed. I'll bring up 3rd down.
Great job by the interior D-line of Georgia Southern. They gave up no movement, and it caused App State to stall out.
Also caused a timeout. Player down for the Eagles. And that looks to be Davon Gilmore. We will take an injury timeout here on ESPN Plus. Six-year senior Davon Gilmore able to get up and walk off on his own power. Jason, you were talking about throughout the broadcast how Gilmore has had his nose to the football throughout this game tonight.
Yeah, he's been wreaking havoc on App State. It's when they run their zone offense. He has a read on it. He's closing. He's making plays. An unfortunate injury for Georgia Southern at the moment.
So a time here for the Mountaineers to reset. App State was picked as a preseason favorite to win the Sun Belt East. Joey Aguilar was picked to get the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year in preseason 7. Preseason first team all Sun Belt honorees, but needing to get through a challenging season along with the effects of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene and a challenging Sun Belt Conference schedule. The Mountaineers are starting to find their way late. Winners of 3 of their last 4, driving here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7. Aguilar throws far side, caught by Jackson, first down.
I think 3rd down. I think the whole stadium knew Jackson was getting his football. A great route on his part, drove off, made the defender turn his hips, and just snatched his head around to an out route. And again, a great throw by Aguilar. He's making big throws when he needs to.
Jackson, his 6th reception tonight, leading the charge in the receiving corps for Appalachian State. He is their primary target, number 1. Keep an eye out for Jackson throughout the rest of this game. From a 41 on first down, Marshall sneaks through, breaks the tackle. Marshall bounces outside, down to the 40.
Great vision by Marshall right there. He looked like he was stopped dead in the gap. He kind of squeaked through, stuttered his feet, and got outside and picked up a big gain right here. Chased down by Marquez Watson-Trent.
Marshall, his 22nd carry, a gain of 17, 124 yards on the ground.
Yeah, I believe that's his 5th game going over 100 yards.
5th in a row. Has been impressive as Aguilar throws deep pass, caught, and it's Jackson in the red zone.
Jackson's a big-time player. Throw it up, trust him to make a play. Obviously, Aguilar is in trouble, and he depends on his guy to make a throw or make a catch. Gets good arc on the ball, actually giving his receiver a chance, even though he was being held. Way to come back and find the football.
From the 19, Haywood gets taken behind, a tackle for a loss. But it's been Amani Marshall and Mekhi Jackson leading the way on offense in the absence of Kanye Roberts and Caden Robinson.
Yeah, these guys have filled in nicely. Obviously, they lost a big part of their offense. It kind of contributes to the struggles that App State has. But these guys have done a wonderful job coming in and filling in and getting this offense back on track to show what App State can really do.
So following the 23-yard completion from Aguilar to Jackson, Mikael Haywood, a loss of 2, makes it 2nd and 12. Play clock at 4. Aguilar gets it right back, throws it deep, and incomplete, intended for Eli Wilson. So these are the 2 impact players that are out for the year for the Mountaineers, and you see the production that they've had with the program. I mean, Robinson, 14 total touchdowns, Roberts with 10. But with those 2 players out, others had to step up with the next man up mentality. And we've seen it from the wide receiver, Mekhi Jackson, and running back, Amani Marshall.
Yeah, this is a huge chunk of production right there. You look at the yardage and also the trust from the quarterback.
3rd and 12. App State 7 for 10 tonight. And it was a running back that got the snap and a throw way offline from Aguilar. A unique trick play that makes it 4th and 12. If you're the Mountaineers, we're going to ask, what do you do here, partner? But it seems like App State going to bring out the field goal unit.
Yeah, I think you kick the field goal right here to get yourself back into 1 score. But we don't like to play before then with the reverse. They were throwing the ball so well to Jackson. I think you just go back and drop back and throw it to him. Aguilar, a very dangerous throw that could have been picked off and pretty much sealed the game.
Yeah, there's no need to be cute at this point in the game. Just run something simple, and you saw the pass game work out so well. It's going to be a 38-yard field goal try, but a timeout.
Talking about
it seems like the officials are going to talk things over instead, rather. This will be a 38-yard field goal try for Michael Hughes.
The referee might have froze the kicker themselves accidentally right here with that stoppage in play.
Flag on the play. The kick good. We'll see who the flag is on.
Delay a game. Defense number 22, disconcerting signals with a clap. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
So Mark Stampley, delay of game call, was trying to mix up the signals to move the Mountaineers 5 yards up, so make it a 33-yard field goal try for Hughes. Stampley still trying to hype up the fans in Paulson. And another flag, and the Eagles think that the Mountaineers may have jumped early.
Yeah, I think the Mountaineers are giving it right back to Georgia Southern. They're like the right tackle or the right end kind of flinched right there from holding the stance for so long.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Andres Dewar. So now it's back to the original 38-yard try for Hughes.
Yeah, we can see if Hughes he can go 3 for 3 at this distance. Maybe you got some warm-up kicks right there.
As cold as it's been, warm-up kicks may be needed. The 3rd time be a charm for Hughes from 38, and it's a missed snap. Trouble. And how about that? Connor Maynard, the punter, couldn't hang on to the ball.
Yeah. This is what a robbery game is. penalties on both sides, move the ball back and forth. Then you get a little bit high snap with a little bit of heat on it. Then you have this possession with no points again. I think App State's been in the red zone three times and come away with 0 points. Ultimately, it's the difference in the game.
Slipped through the hands of Maynard.
Yeah, that high snap right there. He did a good job of covering it up, but definitely a high snap. You see how he's a little bit off center, something you guys practice. But like I said, a third time, maybe jinx himself.
That is a major blow to the Mountaineers.
Now, if you're Eagles right here, you definitely want to pick up 2 first downs and hopefully run 4 or 5 minutes off this clock and get yourself in the range to get points.
Eagles will take over from the 43. French will keep. Has a block up front, will use it and gets across midfield. And J.C. French is really embodying the old school option game of Georgia Southern here.
Yeah, he's definitely going with the throwback, and this play was called for him right here. If you watch, he was pulling this ball out. The block was already set up. I think Georgia Southern may have found a new wrinkle in their offense to produce points, and this is going to be something they're going to do going forward. It's definitely working for them, but anytime the quarterback can run with that threat, it's just that much more for a defense to have to cover.
Sometimes you have to learn from the past to change your future, and that's what we're seeing from the Eagles, and the quarterback runs. Gain of 6. Quick handoff, and Arnold gets about midfield.
Good job by App State right there covering that play up. And the safety's starting to get involved. Well, actually, the linebacker, Colton right there. He come up, make a good stop. Now, again, 3rd and short for Georgia Southern. What are they going to do? They're going to run it or they're going to throw it?
We have O.J. Arnold in our running back. We've seen French run the ball a lot, 12 carries for 63 yards.
O.J. has the most catches out of the running back, so I would not be surprised if they swing this pass to him right here.
Eagles 5 of 8 in 3rd down conversions tonight. French will keep it, gets sacked, ball is loose, still around, and the Mountaineers fall on it. Once again, when App State could not convert or they have a turnover, they get the ball right back.
Yeah, App State defense coming to play today. This is great pressure on the quarterback. He wanted to throw the slant up top, but I think App State had been coached up in the first half about giving the slant away.
Tyler Fromm is heated. My goodness.
Josh O'Donnell with great pressure right there to get that ball out, get to J.C. French first. Just unfortunate turnover for Georgia Southern in a 3rd and short situation to turn this ball over again in plus territory. So App State has to capitalize on this drive.
And I believe it was also Nate Johnson that on the second hit forced the ball out. So new life for App State. They'll take over at the 41.
I think if you're App State, you're looking to take a shot right here with a sudden change, maybe get a hard run action, try to throw over the top of Georgia Southern.
Aguilar on play action. Gonna go deep. Has Jackson! Touchdown! "41-yard house call, and the Mountaineers back in it. Tracy Hill is down in the end zone for Georgia Southern. But what a response for App State and Mekhi Jackson.
Yeah, sudden change in football. They definitely wanted to take their shot. Again, like we started the broadcast, hard run action, bring up Georgia Southern safeties, and simply just throw over the top. And Mekhi Jackson has great speed and great ball skills to catch this and track it with the arc from the quarterback. As he caught this ball, I think he may have got his butt in the end zone for the touchdown.
Hill is still down. And while we have this injury timeout, the officials are going to review the play. It seemed like Jackson initially made the catch and fell into the end zone, which the initial ruling is a touchdown. But with a game this close, the officials are going to double check with the review.
Yeah, and obviously for App State, they want to have this be a touchdown where they don't have to do the goal line stand again. And obviously, if you get back on the ball more times, runs out the clock. So I know App State's really hoping this is a touchdown. But a great throw by Aguilar on that ball right there, too.
Player was down at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
So it gets overturned, and turns out Jackson was down at the 1.
Yeah, him being down at the 1, again, it takes a little bit of time off the clock, but I think App State keeps it simple this time. Maybe a couple quarterback sneaks, but they got to get this ball into the end zone right here on this possession.
This has been a physical game. It's the second time we've seen Tracy Hill down, getting helped off by the trainer. We first saw him collide with Chance Gamble in the end zone earlier. Ooh.
Yeah, again, I think he gets hit with friendly fire again. But great catch by Jackson. Way to hang on to that ball with 2 defenders closing in on him.
Great ball control from Jackson indeed. His 8th reception, now has over 150 yards receiving. But as you mentioned, Jason, it's 1st and goal and another goal line stand, which is probably one thing that App State did not want, considering that the Eagles made a stop at the goal line to end the first half.
Correct. They get up on here.
The quick toss. Marshall in. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
Yeah. Great tempo right there to get on the ball, hike it, not let Georgia Southern get lined up.
So nonetheless, the Mountaineers make it a field goal game. Monty Marshall, 23rd carry of the night, first touchdown, 125 yards on the ground. The Mountaineers back in it. Both the Eagles and the Mountaineers trading turnovers, with a big throw from Aguilar to Mekhi Jackson, then setting up the run for Marshall. PAT good by Hughes. 22-20 here in the 4th.
Sudden change right here. Watch the arc that Aguilar puts on this ball so it drops in perfectly. Doesn't overthrow him, and he keeps the ball in bounds and gives Jackson a chance to make the play. And then Marshall, just great vision, cutting up in there for a touchdown. Again, we got a game right here.
You have got to love the rivalry week and the way this Georgia Southern App State rivalry has unfolded throughout the night. And it seems like Joey Aguilar has really been able to get things together. 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, although he had the 2 picks. And J.C. French getting the job done in the running game. 57 yards on the ground.
Yeah, I think both quarterbacks are coming into their zone.
8:16 to go in the 4th. DeAndre Buchanan waves that one off. Eagles will take over from the 25. What needs to happen for Georgia Southern now after the last drive they had resulted in a turnover?
Yeah, I think for Georgia Southern on their 3rd down protection, they have to be able to shore this up. Both of them to come on 3rd down. So being able to have good runs on 1st down and keep them in the second and short where they can learn play action is the key for success for the rest of this game.
10 of the 40 games between the Eagles and Mountaineers have been decided by 5 points or less. And we could be looking at another close game late in the stretch. On 1st down, Jalen White gets about a yard. And the thing for the, hang on. Some physicality happening. There's Santana Hopper. You know, Jason, we were talking about Hopper, and he was one of your impact players tonight, and we haven't really seen him throughout this game, and now getting physical with Jalen White.
Yeah, he just showed up there, definitely trying to, you can see he's wanting to win this game, get a victory for him, and just kind of got a little pushy right there. It's an intense game.
Well, head coach Sean Clark said that the D-line starts with Santana Hopper. He makes the tackle, and you saw at the end pushing off on White.
A little extra.
Emotions run high. French on 2nd down, gets sacked from behind. Another big play for the Mountaineer defense, that time Thomas Davis. And more physicality on the field.
Yeah, App State is doing a good job of getting off the ball on the snap count. They're running around Georgia Southern tackles right here with speed and getting low. I think French is going to eventually have to step up, or they're going to have to call quarterback draws earlier the situation.
Loss of 3 makes it 3rd and 12. Clock winding down, under 7 minutes to go. Trips right for the Eagles. White at running back. The Mountaineer defense, their 3rd sack of the night. French, and a flag on the play.
Southern, second charge of the half, 30 seconds in the lead.
Rather, the Eagles calling a timeout quickly, blowing the play dead.
Yeah, they want to make sure they get the right play right here because this is such a big play for the game going forward. You turn the ball over right here, App State could bleed the clock out and kick a go-ahead field goal. So they try to make sure they get a first down and at least be able to flip the field if they don't score on this drive.
Is that a wise choice for the Eagles to use their second timeout at this moment? As you mentioned, that App State will have the momentum if they get the ball back with a lot of time left.
Yeah, I personally don't like the timeout right here. It's just a normal 3rd down call. These guys, this should be on the call sheet. They should have something for 3rd and long. To call a timeout to run the same play you were going to run, like I said, this timeout may come in handy at the end of the game.
Not to mention just trying to halt the momentum of Appalachian State. First, Santana Hopper with the tackle on Jalen White, the sack by Thomas Davis. And just a quick talking to for the Eagles offense out of the timeout. 3rd and 12. From the 23. French gets out of traffic and throws it at the last second. And incomplete. How about this 3 and out for the Mountaineers defense?
Yeah, they really stepped up the pressure on the Georgia Southern right here. I think they got a beat on the pass game, and that's why it was essential for Georgia Southern to get off on the run. But being that they're unable, I think App State just kind of pinning their ears back, going back and get the quarterback. See how wide they're lined up at their defensive end spot.
Sometimes plays like that could result in turnovers. Kyle Arnhart was right there.
Yeah, some of those plays you just got to eat the ball and take a sack and make sure you don't turn a bad play worse.
Or just get whatever yard you can get. Alex Smith boots this one deep. Taken at the 32. Mekhi Jackson across the 40 and runs out of bounds.
A great return right here by Jackson. He's doing everything tonight. He's catching the ball, now he's doing return. I don't think App State's been a big return team for the most part of the year, but to get 15, 20 yards on return, again, you're on 30 yards, you're back in field goal range.
A gain of 12 for Jackson. And Mekhi Jackson, the junior from Levittown, Pennsylvania, was the Robin next to Caden Robinson. He has been Superman throughout the night. 8 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown, almost 2, but was overturned as Jackson was short of the goal line.
Right. I think, speaking of Superman, I think Georgia Southern D-line has to step up right here and make some big plays.
On first down, Marshall may have gotten a yard or 2. And this is time for the Mountaineers. They have the time possession and everything is on their side. Under 6 minutes to go, all 3 of their timeouts, they're in no rush here.
Yeah, no rush. They're going to make sure they get the right play in. Again, they can still keep it safe and still run the ball at this moment.
Marshall with 24 carries now on the night. Make it 25 on second down. Bounces outside. Flag on the play. Marshall down to 49.
Holding, 68 offense. 10-yard previous spot, replay, second down.
9th penalty of the game for the Mountaineers, holding on the center, Jack Hallfield.
That's what we speak about the Georgia Southern D-line making a play. Obviously, when offensive lineman getting hold of that means the defensive lineman is moving fast. Great job of the defensive line stepping up, but again, a huge penalty by App State to get them off schedule and unable to run the inside zone.
2nd and 18, do you throw here for the Mountaineers?
Yes, I think you have to pick up 8 or 9 yards where you get yourself into a third and 10 situation.
3 receivers set and Wilson lined up to the left.
You definitely got to watch for Wilson leaking out right here.
Dump out to Anderson Castle. Castle, ooh, hard hit before going out of bounds.
Castle and Marshall both big backs, and they run hard, and they finish every run going forward. So a good job by Georgia Southern, at least getting them out of bounds right there.
Well, Anderson Castle knows about this App State-Georgia Southern rivalry. See here on the dump out from Aguilar. Castle, the hometown kid from Boone, North Carolina, has seen this rivalry through and through from a child and now playing in it as a redshirt junior. 3rd and 12. Aguilar, play action. Scrambles. Aguilar can't get past his own blocker and sent straight down by a Lodge fall.
Good job of pursuit and fall. Good using his hands to get off the block and getting Aguilar on the ground. Not sure if he's going to get sacked for it, but that's a tremendous play. Watson on the blitz right here to flush him out of the pocket. He stays outside leverage. Look at the athletic ability to get back out and make the sack. Watson on the blitz made the guard and the running back pick him up.
Deshaun Davis was also there as well. Got to Aguilar first. Fair catch called by Josh Dallas, puts the Eagles inside the 15. 3:52 to go. 22-20, Georgia Southern. And this is where the Eagles need to likely finish this game, and we'll see what the Mountaineer defense does, led by defensive coordinator Scott Sloan. See head coach Sean Clark looking on. And we talk about defensive coordinator Scott Sloan has a unique experience with this rivalry, was the defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern back in 2018, 2021, also a DB's coach when you played back in the day.
Yeah, he was a DB coach, and he was a very, very good attention to detail type guy.
White gets the first down, tackled at the 24.
Great first down run by Georgia Southern. I think that's what they're going to have to do to finish this game off. They could pick up 7 and 8 yards on the first down run. They could eventually close App State out.
All about being efficient on first down. That's what offensive coordinator Ryan Appalachian talked with us about leading into this game.
I guess the question now is, if you're Georgia Southern, do you throw it at all, or are you content with running and punting this football if you don't pick up the first down?
First down from the 24. White spins out. Jalen White, another big run on first.
Amazing move right there by White. Kind of stutters feet with the quick spin move, picking up an additional 4 or 5 yards. Like he gets in the hole. Nice stutter step. Good finish.
Has been the driving force for the Eagles offense. 73 rushing yards on 12 carries, also 2 touchdowns.
I think White, he's an arm tackle away from taking one to the house right here. He's getting close. I think he's getting the feel of the running lanes right now.
2.5 minutes to go. Play clock at 2. White. Burst of speed up the middle for a first down. And Jalen White continuing to hang on to the football, and I think you play it safe for the Eagles. Just run this ball and run the clock out if you can.
Yeah, they definitely got to keep running the ball. And I think App State needs to bring the safety down. They're too high right now because I think they're afraid of Georgia Southern weapons on the outside, but Georgia Southern looks content with just running this football.
That takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Eagles lead 22-20. Can Georgia Southern keep their Sun Belt title hopes alive? We'll find out after the break. I want to take this time to give a special shout out to our tremendous Gata Productions crew and our camera operators bracing the elements out here in the cold on this Saturday night in Statesboro. Got about 6 to 7 cameras all throughout the stadium, providing the best coverage. See Hunter Mosley up top running the mid 50-yard line camera, and along with the rest of our incredible crew enjoying a warm control room. 2 minutes to go. Eagles leading 22-20. Jalen White, the handoff. White gets about 3 yards, and this is where the Mountaineers having all 3 timeouts come into their favor, using the first right here.
Yeah, great time to use the timeout. Georgia Southern has to remember to keep 2 hands on the football, and also for App State, as they're going for the football, make sure you secure the tackle. A lot of times you see people reaching for the ball and letting the ball carrier get an extra 2, 3, or 4 yards. Right now, App State needs to just make a stop, and they will get the ball back.
This is the time where you go to your veterans. 5th-year running back Jalen White has been that go-to. His 14th carry of the night, has 82 yards, 2 touchdowns, and has been the driving force in the run game. Also getting help from J.C. French, 15 carries and 52 yards for the redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia Southern does try to sneak another J.C. French run in here for the first down. Obviously holding on to the football with zone read. App State's going to be crashing hard. One more first down, I think this game is over.
A quick update from Harrisonburg, Virginia. James Madison, a 17-0 lead over Marshall. 2nd and 7. White bounces out, cuts back inside, and a first down saving tackle from Jason Chambers. Mountaineers, now a flag out. It has been an emotional and physical kind of game, and you wouldn't want it any other way on rivalry week.
Yeah, great job by Jason Chambers making a tackle right there to keep them at 3rd and short, but I believe this penalty may give Georgia Southern the first down. That'll be an awful situation for App State, obviously, is how well they're playing on defense.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 11. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Necessary roughness added on top. Varian Cole. Just getting into it with Chance Carroll and Josh Dow. There's the right hand from Cole to Carroll.
Yeah, you get emotions in a rivalry game. It's so intense, but you got to keep your focus right there. It was a 3rd down situation, possibly getting the ball back in one play. To now, you're hoping for something to happen for Georgia Southern to mess themselves up.
Well, we talked about what this Mountaineer team is playing for, not just for themselves, but all of Western North Carolina. Just to be in this position fighting for bowl eligibility speaks a lot to this App State team.
Yeah, it shows how resilient they are, as we mentioned earlier. A lot of things going on, a lot of distractions. Obviously with the hurricane, the unfortunate situation. So just to be in this position is a testament to these guys and what they do.
So first down for Georgia Southern from the 38, following the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Minute 35 and counting to go in regulation. White the carry. Up the middle. Tackle at the 35-yard line, and there you go once again. Oh! Santana Hopper has the football. The Mountaineers are trying to say it's their ball.
Well, I believe he pulled his ball out on the ground. There's no indication from the referee that a fumble happened. But with his helmet coming off, he can't play the next play.
Officials separating the teams. Let's take a look here. App State will call a timeout. See here, Hopper comes down with White, and Hopper is stripping that ball away from White, but
Hopper has to be careful not to get another personal foul. Definitely trying to get the ball out, but he's on the verge of getting App State a personal foul. You guys have a chance to make a stop with another timeout left.
White believed he was already down as well. And the Mountaineers did call a timeout using their second. I mean, do you think there's a chance that Hopper stripped the ball away from White?
Not from the look that we're seeing now. I think he's on the ground when his helmet touched the ground. When he flipped over, I think you consider him down right there.
after some confusion. We can clarify that it is still possession, Georgia Southern. The second down and 6 following the 4-yard gain from Jalen White. Mountaineers with 1 timeout left, 1:19 to go. White again. Bounces out. White down at the 45.
Smart decision to stay in bounds right there, too. Looked like he was going to head out of bounds. I think he realized I need this clock to run. Good job of getting down. Again, App State's giving themselves a chance by making a stop here on 3rd down.
So with that, the Mountaineers use their final timeout. It's a loss of 1. It'll be 3rd and 7. They'll be taking it to 35. This has been a game where J.C. French has really spread the ball around. And 3 different Eagle receivers with above 500 yards. That has been a staple since Clay Helton has taken over this Eagles team with the air raid offense.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat. I mean, that means the quarterback trusts a lot of people and spread the ball around. Then obviously you got good athletes out here to catch the ball and to get 500 yards. To be able to spread it around that much shows what you got to do at practice and a testament to their team.
Josh Dallas, 4 receptions, 53 yards and a touchdown tonight. Derwin Burgess, 4 catches as well. Dalen Cobb with 1, but it just shows how French has been able to utilize numerous players. Do you know the last time a Georgia Southern receiver had over 500 yards before the Clay Helton era? We'll answer that question after this. 3rd and 7. Mountaineers out of timeouts.
Again, I think Georgia Southern keeps it safe, hands the ball to Jalen White, let him pick up what he can pick up, and it needs to be 2 hands on this football.
French goes to White. White open space, bounces outside. Jalen White gonna take it to the house and seal the deal for the Eagles.
Great job by Jalen White. Way to cap off a drive with such a long run. But earlier in the drive, we felt that he was going to break a long run. He was a shoestring tackle away. Georgia Southern kept running the same play with the zone.
During the run, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 25, taunting. Be a 15-yard foul from the 5-yard line, 1st down.
Wow. So they take the touchdown away from White. I mean, it was blatant taunting right there as White was making his way in the end zone.
Yeah, that's definitely a taunting. Deserves a penalty. Oh, wow. Again, you got to be smart right there. Don't take a touchdown away from yourself. You want to, you play college football, you want to score a touchdown. With the new rules, you just can't do that. But fortunate for Georgia Southern, you're able to take a knee and to get out of this game.
Yeah, nonetheless, the Eagles are going to end this. As the Mountaineers are out of timeouts, they can knee it out.
But definitely a lesson to learn from going forward for anybody who runs the football.
Yeah.
Because this game was, you're losing or game's tied. Huge penalty.
I mean, Coach Helton said that when emotions go up, intelligence goes down, and we saw in the last couple of runs.
Appalachian State has chosen to decline the foul and take the touchdown.
How about that? For the Mountaineers, declining the foul, so it will be a touchdown for the Eagles. Jalen White, his 3rd score tonight, and that is going to do it for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, right decision by App State by taking this. They're obviously about to try to block this kick, so the field goal team needs, extra point team needs to be ready for a hard pressure. They got to get the ball back to win the game, so this is a huge extra point.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is the right decision for head coach Sean Clark for App State, because you get the ball back instead of having the Eagles kneel it out to end the game. It gives their offense one more chance out there on the field.
Correct.
PAT right down the middle from Gavin Stewart, 29-20. Eagles with 1:05 to go.
Yeah. Obviously, they need a great kickoff right here. Good coverage. And then play deep and let this game come to an end.
What a game for the 5th-year senior Jalen White. Did not play in this final game of the year in the first 2 seasons that Coach Helton took over. But tonight, 3 touchdowns, his 3rd 100-yard rushing game this season, final nail in the coffin. Yes, you have the taunting at the end, but that just shows the emotions of this rivalry and how much this game means to Georgia Southern.
Yeah, you definitely see that Jalen, he must have had this game circled and wouldn't want to get in on it. Obviously with the taunting penalty wasn't a good look.
That touchdown, as of right now, secures a victory for the Eagles. And what a night it has been from the prettiest little stadium in America. From the opening drive where the Eagles explosive on that first drive for a score, to 2-point conversion for Matthew Daniel to catch the Mountaineers off guard.
How important was the 2-point conversion now to a 9-point game?
Well, that's massive. You take now the Mountaineers a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from them will tie it up, and now you need a touchdown and then an onside kick. And here's the thing, App State used all their timeouts.
Exactly, so you never know how play in the first half affects the game going into the second half. The 2-point conversion looked a little bit insignificant. Also, I believe App State went for 2 and did not get it. So now you're looking at a difference of just scoring a touchdown. Plays like that come back to bite you.
Coach Elton talked about how special teams needed to make a big play, and we saw that in the form of a 2-point conversion. From the 25, Aguilar scrambles, dumps it to Marshall. Marshall gets the first down, tackled at the 39. Marshall wants it at the 40. Hurry up offense for App State.
Yeah, I believe App State had to get on the ball. Just run a normal play right here. They still have time.
Eagles sending 8 men back. Aguilar scrambles, will keep trying to get out of bounds, and he does to stop the clock at 45 seconds.
Yeah, great job by Aguilar getting out of bounds. But for Georgia Southern, they need to tackle the outside leg to keep these guys in bounds.
So we have the answer to our trivia question. It was B.J. Johnson, the last Eagle with 500 yards receiving before the Clay Helton era, and Coach Johnson, the wide receivers coach.
Yeah, you
got the Eagles.
You got to dig a little deep to find that stat, but that shows you why the other Eagles have 500 yards more this year. He does a great job with it.
Aguilar dumps it over the middle. Christian Horn could not hang on.
Yeah, I think Christian was looking to make a big play right there. He kind of felt himself all alone, was looking to turn up field to get a lot of positive yards. Got to secure the ball first.
Make it 3rd and 1 with 40 seconds to go, as the late surge continues for Appalachian State. Now, 3rd downs of where they've been efficient, 7 for 12. Aguilar throws, pass caught. First down, that time Horn completes it.
Yeah, very good job throwing the ball in the middle of the field. App State needs to get on and clock this ball really quick, get themselves a couple shots at the end zone.
And Aguilar does just that, spikes it. 30 seconds to play. What a season it has been for both the Eagles and the Mountaineers. Georgia Southern has had numerous games that have gone down to the 4th quarter, even a tough challenge to start the season over a potential Heisman favorite of Ashton Genty and Boise State. And this has got to please some Eagle fans. James Madison at the half, 17-0 over Marshall.
Yeah, the Eagles definitely have some games that make you bite your nails off.
Pass caught as Michael Hetzel with the reception. Mountaineers at the 26. Time winding down, and Aguilar spikes it again.
Yeah, I think App State right here has to start taking their shots at the end zone. If you don't get it on the first two throws, I think you got to kick a field goal, give yourself a chance to get the ball back. But right now you need 2 scores, so you got to get one of them quickly.
I think with 22 seconds, you take a shot in the end zone here.
Yeah, you take your shot, and I think you get on and kick a field goal, try to get your onside kick back. But you don't want to score with 1 second left and give yourself no time.
Oh, wow. Instead, Hughes is going to come right out. Yeah. So this will be a 43-yard field goal try right down the middle for Hughes. And that tails left. No good. Georgia Southern is going to pull it out.
Huge win by Georgia Southern right here. Again, with special teams coming to play, Had a high snap on an extra point, 2-point conversion. Now a missed field goal. Everything's going the Eagles' way right here.
What a season for Georgia Southern. They will finish the regular season 8-4 on the year, 6-2 in the Sun Belt Conference, and now all of Eagle Nation becomes James Madison fans and hoping the Dukes can hang on and beat Marshall so they can punch their ticket to the Sun Belt Championship.
Yeah, 100%. All the Eagle fans about to get this game on, looking for the TVs to get this James Madison on. Eagles going to be flying high tonight, rooting on the Dukes.
This is an extremely resilient Georgia Southern team. Fans thought it was all over after the last loss to Troy 2 weeks ago. But a win last week at Coastal Carolina and a win tonight over your rival in Appalachian State keeps hope alive for Eagle Nation.
Yeah, definitely keeps hope alive, and you can see the emotion from the players and fans on the field coming right now. This is a huge win, not only because it's a rivalry game, but again for playoff, for championship implications for the Sun Belt.
Final score 29-20 as Coach Helton and Coach Clark embrace at midfield. What a victory for Georgia Southern. The fans are storming the field in Paulson. What a sight.
Yeah, this is what college football is about. Fans getting to live it up, especially on Thanksgiving holiday, people coming in early just to watch this game. You're going to let the excitement pour out.
Whitney Hayworth is standing by with Eagles head coach Clay Helton.
Coach Helton, 2 years ago, you had this similar atmosphere. Today, another victory against Appalachian State. What do these kind of moments mean for this program and for you as a head coach?
Well, one, glory to God. And look at this scene. Is this incredible? It's the reason college football is the greatest game on earth. Unbelievable, Eagle Nation. So proud of our football team, how they finished this season.
Senior day, 30 guys were honored, and of course Jalen White was one of them. A fantastic outing by him. The first time he's gotten to face Appalachian State since you took over as head coach. What can you say about his performance?
Well, so proud of 25 in our offensive line. We said we weren't going to come off the field until we scored, and they finished it running the football to win. Proud of them.
And who would have thought that your quarterback, J.C. French, would be your second leading rusher?
Great job. Toughness by the quarterback position today. How about these guys? Are they awesome?
And now, Coach, you've got to wait for the final of James Madison Marshall to learn if you will win the Sun Belt East Division and go to the conference championship game. Do you want to know the score of that game or no?
All I can say is go Dukes right now. We won tonight and go Dukes. Hail Southern boys! Yeah, baby! Great job!
An emotional Clay Helton, an emphatic fan base down on the field. My goodness. You can just feel the emotions and the intensity of what this game means to Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I think this is why they call it the greatest game, college football. You get the fan base involved. This is a great scene for college football.
And now, just like Coach Helton said, it's go Dukes in hopes that James Madison can defeat Marshall and send the Eagles to a Sun Belt title game. It was the first 8-win season for Clay Helton since 2019 at USC, and an 8-win season here at Georgia Southern in year 3 as head coach.
Yeah, Georgia Southern finished the regular season on a high note right here. Definitely looking for get into the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. Again, a chance for 9 wins, something that Georgia Southern has not done in a while. I believe this is the start for their program going forward. And as for App State, I believe they will rebound as well. They had a good team. Obviously got rid of with a lot of injuries, but they'll be looking forward to next year as well.
A resilient season for the App State Mountaineers, finishing 5-6 on the season. Their season is over, will not be going to a bowl game. Georgia Southern now awaits the final between James Madison and Marshall. So for Jason Foster and Whitney Hayworth, I am Danny Wall saying so long from Paulson Stadium. Final score, Georgia Southern 29, App State 20.